Clarkston Wolves are looking for a return trip to the state playoffs, and last week's last-second loss to Seaholm has put destiny in the hands of Dane Fife, Tim Wasilk, and the rest of the Wolves. Win and they're in, lose and they're out. The Lake Orion Dragons gave us a last-second win against Adams early in the season, but have since dropped out of the playoff race. All eyes tonight will be on Dennis Mahan, who needs 249 yards to become only the 12th player in Michigan high school history to rush for 2,000 yards in a season. Tonight, the regular season comes to an end as Clarkston battles Lake Orion on the TCI Game of the Week.
The TCI Sports High School Football Game of the Week.
From Lake Orion High School, it's the Clarkston Wolves and the Lake Orion Dragons. Hello, everyone. I'm Joe Abramson along with Jack Roberts. And tonight, Jack, we've got a couple of teams, one trying to finish their season on a positive note, the other one trying to keep their season alive.
Yes, Clarkston comes in with a 6-2 record. The Wolves are led by, they've got a lot of talent, but they need this game tonight to get into the state tournament, into the playoffs, and it's a big game for the Clarkston Wolves tonight.
And Lake Orion, on the other hand, had a couple of tough losses, but they still have a chance at least a winning record, even though the playoffs are out of the question.
Yeah, they come in 4-4, but it's somewhat of a disappointing season. A lot of close losses. This is a much better team. The record is deceiving. They need a big win tonight, and for a lot of the seniors, they want to go out on a winning note.
All right, and with Clarkston, we're going to see the passing attack, and we all know about the quarterback, Dane Fife, but he's got a big-time receiver he goes to.
Yes, Tim Wasilk, the senior receiver. He's 6 foot 170. He's made 43 catches for 612 yards. He scored 5 TDs. He is the deep threat for the Clarkston Wolves.
All right, and Tim Wasilk leading Oakland County in receiving. On the other side of the ball, the leading rusher in Oakland County for Lake Orion.
Yes, Dennis Mahan. He is just a superstar. Right now, he has 715 total yards. He averages more than 7 yards per carry. He scored 20 touchdowns, Joe. Look for number 40, Dennis Mahan, tonight. The kid has just got quickness. A lot of the scouts say he might not be big enough, but Dennis Mahan, with a big game tonight, he's leading the county now. He should finish as Oakland County's leading ground gainer.
All right, well, it's going to be an exciting game, probably an offensive showcase tonight on the TCI Game of the Week.
I wrote a letter to TCI because of the kind service and the kindness that was given to me when we needed service. I'm a district manager for Family Dollar stores here in Detroit and Pontiac. And being a district manager over 16 stores, it's important for us to maintain good customer service day in and day out. If you don't give good service to customers, you don't maintain good service, you don't maintain a good company. And TCI, in my book, has certainly represented customer service to the nth degree.
On the Master Anglers, we bring you the hottest fishing action around the state of Michigan. From tips and techniques to advice and stories from the pros, the Master Anglers gives you the info you need to catch the big ones. Plus, it's just plain fun. That's the Master Anglers, Thursday nights at 8 on TCI Channel 63.
Back here at Lake Orion, Joe Abramson along with Jack Roberts, and Clarkston ready to kick off to start this game, and obviously a lot of pressure on them trying to get themselves into the playoffs for the second straight year.
Yeah, with Clarkston, you look at them now, they're 4-1 in the conference, 6-2 overall. They need this win to assure a bid. Lake Orion comes in 3-2 in the conference, 4-4 overall. Deceiving record, though, some very close losses.
Yeah, and it's funny, both teams lost in the final minute against Seaholm. Clarkston last week, and both teams say they pretty much gave the game away with turnovers, and that's been killing Lake Orion all year, really. They could easily be 6-2, 8-1, but mistakes have killed them. As you see, Lake Orion in the all green with the white numbers, Clarkston white with the blue pants and the blue numbers, and we're going to have Ryan Chapman kick off to open the game. and he's going to kick away from Dennis Mahan and out of bounds. Probably a smart move. Give him the ball at the 35 rather than let Mahan have a shot at bringing it all the way back.
Yeah, don't risk the return from Mahan. He's got speed. Don't give him the opportunity.
And Dennis Mahan, as we mentioned before, 249 yards away from becoming only the 12th player ever to rush for 2,000 yards. There you see our officials. Dowell, Meilert, Schmeiser, Polsky, and Curtis. Only the 12th guy ever in Michigan high school history to rush for 2,000 yards in a single season. Only the second in Oakland County, the first Arnie Gillard a few years ago at Walled Lake Western.
Yeah, Joe wasn't sure how it came across in the open, but it was 1,751 yards, not 751.
So and we're going to probably see Dennis Mahan on the first play as Clint Bryant brings it over center, does give it to Mahan, and he takes it off right tackle and picks up about 6 yards.
He can fight in traffic, Joe. That's the thing about Mahan. He's only 5'9", 187, maybe 190, but he's tough to bring down, especially in traffic. He's got great leg strength. You'll see here as he comes off to the right side, just a little off tackle, just get him loosened up on the first play, and Clarkston just comes in with a lot of gang tackling, led by, a host of Wolves, especially 21 there.
And Mahan's coming off the field right now. Looks like he's getting an equipment repair, so he's not going to add to that total right now. 2nd down and 4 for the Dragons. Single back in the backfield, and he pitches it out to him. That's number 5, Rick Green, and he gets stuffed and fumbles the ball, but I believe it goes out of bounds. Tackle made by Jamie Mutter.
Yep, Mutter and Wasilk got over there, and what was the call on that, Joe?
I think he fumbled it out of bounds.
You see the little pitch
Mahan's
here.
Back on the field.
Take it off the left side. Good run. Here comes Mutter, and then number 2 is Wasilk. Wasilk reaches in and strips it out, but it went out of bounds. No one got control.
Yeah, Mutter's a guy who I think fell on it out of bounds, but again, it actually turned out to be a gain, a 3rd down, long one, maybe 2 yards. We talk about Mahan needing 249. I know it's a lot of yardage, but in 4 of their 8 games this year, he's gotten at least that, including 372 when we showed them against Rochester Adams this year. And now we have an officials timeout on the field. And we have no idea why they stopped that, but I think they're just replacing the ball, and now they're going to let him go back up to the line of scrimmage and get this play going. 3rd down.
There was a lot of rain today. The field is extremely wet. Maybe the officials thought they had a wet ball.
It is a wet field, too. It didn't drain very well. And there's Mahan. I don't think he's going to get it. Stuff at the line of scrimmage. Ryan Kulka and Warchuk and a bunch of other guys. And it brings up 4th down and 1 for Lake Orion Dragons, and you got to believe they're going to punt. You don't want to risk giving Clarkston the ball inside the 50.
Warchuk's 42 right here. He'll just wrap him up down low. Warchuk's 6 foot, 175, good strength. He holds him up, and Whistler comes in there, a little help on the tackle. Let's see what they do. 4th down, it appears they're going to go for it.
Well, Derderi and the punters in there, and that's what they do. They come up, he sets up like a quarterback and then drops back. He's got Wasilk deep to receive. I think that's just to keep the defense or the return team honest, if you will. This punt gets to Wasilk. He'll have a chance to return it at his own 24-yard line. Gets it up to about the 34. Finally brought down by a host of Dragon tacklers.
Yeah, he ran into his own man.
Yeah, one of the guys who hit him right there, number 21, Kerry Sims. Dan Flanders, another guy, number 55. He's been their top tackler all year.
Yep, and they had help from Chris Machieski there, dove in on the tackle. But Wasilk, you'll see here on the return, little bobble. He takes possession, but then he runs into his own man right here. And he just can't, there's just no room to open. On a kickoff return, you can't hesitate or pause like that. Just that little stoppage, and that allows 4 guys to get in and make shots on you.
Right, Machieski, they call him the juice on the Dragon team. And there's the first play for Clarkston. A quick dive up the middle by number 32, Brad Phelan.
The number 32, Brad Phelan.
Yeah, Phelan.
Nice sized crowd here at Lake Orion. You see our press box. This is the nicest high school press box I've ever seen.
This is beautiful. This is like big time, Big Ten.
See, that's us. There's our camera people. And we have like AstroTurf carpeting and everything. We've got a private door. This is great. I'm going to move in.
I know.
Dane Fife play action. He's looking to throw, and he's got a man open and picks up about 4, maybe 5 yards with the second effort. That pass complete. Number 23, Brad Conley, a junior, 6 foot, 160 pounds, probably take over the lead receiving spot next year after Wasilk's gone.
You see Fife go back, little play action, comes off with that deep drop, swinging off to his left side, gets it off, but you don't want to put it right there. Watch 24, Jonah Defter, put the shot on and really show some strength there. Nice tackle. The Dragons covered that one well.
Well, 3rd down and 3 now for the Wolves. Ball at the 45-yard line. Fife's going to give it off, and they're going to lose a yard at least. Phelan with the ball, stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. And there was Flanders, and I believe McGill also in on that. Andy Walker, too.
And Andy Walker, yes, the 225-pound. He goes both ways, at tight end and defensive end, and he just put a shot on right there.
Well, I'll tell you, we come out here thinking it's an offensive showcase, and we've seen a couple of good defensive stands by each team, and now Clarkston's going to have to punt the ball.
Well, you're going to see a lot of pride from the Dragons tonight. With Walker, this is his last game. It's Mahan's too. It's the last game in the home field. They really want to go out with a winning record. They're very fired up tonight.
That's Mark Teague, the punter, and he's punting it deep to Dennis Mahan, and he's probably not going to get a chance to return this. It's going to be downed inside the 30 at about the 25-yard line. The Dragons will take over 1st down and 10. And there's the man, still a long way from that 2,000-yard mark, and talking to their coaches. They don't really think he's going to get it. Not that they're not going to try, but he said they haven't been blocking well the last few weeks. And if he's going to get 2,000 yards, the line's going to have to improve, and he's going to have to break a couple on his own, and that's asking a lot against a team that's got something to play for.
Right, and Clarkston's got a lot of team speed. It's going to be hard for Mahan to get out and make some long runs. You're going to need 2 or 3 long runs to get to the 2,000-yard mark. But I think the Dragons will take a 150-yard night with maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns. He's got 20 touchdowns.
Now they're going to run the option and pitch it out to Mahan this time, and he almost breaks one. Dragged down from behind, I believe, by Jamie Mutter, and then finished off by Warchuk. He looked like he was going to find a seam there, and he's got the speed to get past linebackers. It's the D-backs that have to make the stop.
Right, watch 56, Jamie Mutter come in here. He's 5'10", 210. Mahan's got a lot of speed. Watch Mutter go down low right here, hold on to that jersey, and wait for help. Good tackle, and nice hustle also by 42, Warchuk. Yeah, Clarkston's got team speed.
And Kurt Richardson's got to be happy so far. They're not spying anybody on Mahan, but they're keying on him. 2nd down and 6 for the Dragons. This time a quick fullback dive.
Bryant hands the ball off.
And that was number 34, Dave D'Onofrio. And Kurt Richardson said he's a little concerned about D'Onofrio, too. He said if you totally stop work on Mahan, D'Onofrio could kill you.
Watch D'Onofrio, 6'1", 225. Got a lot of speed. First man through. Nice play there. That was number 1, Ryan Chapman, 6', 170, taking on 225, losing about 55 pounds. But he went down low beneath the knee, made a nice tackle. If he beats Chapman, he's got the 1st down.
And as it is, they've got a 3rd down and about a yard. Mahan back deep in the eye. And they're going to run a quick pass instead, and it's incomplete. And I'm not sure who he was throwing to. The 2 guys out there. He had number 21, Kerry Sims, and he had Rick Green.
Number 24.
And those of you who saw the Adams Lake Orion game early in the year when Mahan ran for 372 yards, Rick Green is the guy who caught the game-winning touchdown pass with 7 seconds left.
Yeah, I think he was looking for Green, but he just threw it short, and there was good coverage. He saw some white jerseys, and I think he was thinking about that Scott Mitchell pass last week. He said, man, a pickoff here, and it's at 6 points.
Well, as it is, it's 4th and 1, and they look like they're going to punt again. They've got Derderian out there with Wasilk deep to receive. And another big defensive stand for Clarkston. This one's going to be taken by Chapman, the short man. Fair catches it at the 44-yard line of Clarkston, where they'll take over 1st down and 10. Not a good punt, and Clarkston's got better field position.
No, not at all. I don't know if it got hung up in the wind or he just kind of shanked it, but it was a short kick. And you'll see here, I think he might have slipped on the turf. Yes, he did. Way out.
Whoa.
And took a tumble.
Considering that, it's a great punt.
Right, exactly. He got a leg into it for falling down.
All right, now Dane Fife's going to bring the offense back out. I don't think we've seen either offense show much of what they've got yet. It's kind of like a chess match. They're going to play a little hide and seek with each other early on.
Yeah, it's a wet field. I think both teams are just kind of feeling their way around.
Well, that was Conley in motion, and Fife's looking to throw to him. He's flushed out of the pocket now, and finally does get it to Conley, who's run out of bounds by number 77, Hoover, but there's a flag on the play. This could come back.
Yeah, I think we had a hold off on the right side there. Dane, there was some good pressure from the Dragons. The linemen saw it. They grabbed a hold of jersey. Conlon did make a nice catch, though. Like you said, Joe, next year, look for him to really step up.
And we'll get the officials' call.
I like Dane Fife's footwork, even in that wet, little muddy turf. He rolls off, he bounces off. The hold was right in there, just on the left side of the screen. Nice pass, though, right on the money, up high, avoid, and that was a good tackle by Rich Hoover, 77. He really laid some wood.
And the official call is holding, and that's going to bring up another repeat first down, but it's going to be first down and about 25 yards to go.
Yep, that was a big loss.
You know, you talk about Dane Fife's footwork. One of the things I know when you talk to college scouts and stuff, the arm is obvious. If they see you got an arm, it's obvious. But footwork is one of the biggest things. Say if you throw with your feet as well as your arm, and if you've got good footwork, they know they can teach you everything else.
Right, they'll teach you the rest. You know, those are basic mechanics that just have to be fundamental and really nature. They have to come to you naturally, just quick feet. Some guys have them, some guys don't.
Well, it looks like they're going to run a little inside counter to Wasilk, and he is shut down for no gain. Number 79, Dan Geppert, just nails him, and I think he lost a yard on that play.
Geppert's 6 foot 270. He has quick feet too for a big fella, and man, did he put a lick on Tim Wasilk. He really rung the bell.
And now you're probably going to have to see Dane Fife throw second down and a long way to go. But yeah, that footwork thing. In fact, if you watch college football, there's probably a face mask there. I think.
There's the shot. No, he didn't really grab a hold of it, but he kind of laid his arm into that helmet.
That's a penalty. But yeah, if you watch Ron Paulus, everyone says it's the one weakness he has is lousy footwork. And Dane Fife's going to go deep this time and overthrow his man. That was Phelan, and just as close to it was Omar Rivera for Lake Orion. Man, the guy just wasn't open.
No, I think Dane just tried to lead him a little bit, let him run under it, but he let him too much. Phelan was not open.
And I'm not sure if he was the primary receiver or not. I know Wasilk wasn't open, and you got to figure they're going to go to him. The guy's caught 43 passes leading the county.
Right, he was covered, though.
Now we'll bring up a third down and long, and usually where coaches looking not to mess up when they're looking for the playoffs usually call something like a draw.
Yeah, but I think look for Dane to roll out and get around one of the ends here. He's good in the open field. Maybe tuck it in and go for it himself.
Well, he is going to drop back and go deep with it. And this time he overthrows his man again, and this time it was number 15. That's Jeff Bemis.
And Bemis was covered well by the Dragons. I think that was number 14, Omar Rivera, on the coverage. He's got good speed. But I'll tell you, Dane's jumping the gun. He's letting that ball go early, and he's letting it go with too much on it. He's overthrown the last two receivers by at least 10 yards.
Yeah, and not one throw has gone to his main guy yet, Wasilk. And now they're going to have to punt, and Teague's back there to punt, and Mahan. And we can't make the number out on the other guy deep to receive yet for Lake Orion.
He'll block.
But yeah, I was going to say his job's to block anyway. But they're going to punt it to him. Now it's going to be Mahan, the other guy back there, by the way. Was number 21, Kerry Sims. Great punt. That thing rolls down dead inside the 20, about the 17-yard line. And the Dragons are pinned deep once again.
Mark Teague really laid the leg into that one. Great punt for Clarkston. In field position in high school football, a 58-yard kick for Teague. And field position can really make a difference.
And you think about it, that took a pretty decent bounce for as wet a field as we've got.
Yeah, I thought it would kind of stay down there, but it came up and it kept rolling.
Take a look at the standings. Troy won the Division I. Clarkston's one loss in conference play was to Troy. Their other loss to Seaholm, another playoff team.
On the last-second field.
Exactly, and Troy obviously looking to defend that state title. Lake Orion behind Seaholm and Pontiac Central. A couple more playoff teams.
Yep.
Really, it's just they're playing a tough schedule.
Yep, the Dragons had 2 tough losses there.
And once again, they're not able to get the running game going as that Clarkston defense is coming up huge, playing like they want that playoff spot. Number 67, Ryan Schlaff, leading the way on Dennis Mahan. We'll go back to the standings now. Take a look at that TCI conference. And Wasilk Kimball, a Division III team, definitely one of the best teams around and a definite contender for the state Class A title. But you look at maybe Berkeley at 6-2. They're in Division III, probably just as good as Lake Orion, but Lake Orion plays that tougher schedule.
Yes, I think you'll see Kimball finish undefeated too. They have Don Darrow. Is that tonight or tomorrow?
That's today. Yeah, that's
that should be all over. I think you'll see Kimball going undefeated and big with huge momentum into the playoffs.
Well, Clint Bryant's dropping back, and he gets the pass off to Doftert.
Number 24.
And gets about 3 yards on it. Brings up third down and long. Jonah Doftert. Little play action here.
Yep, you're going to see Bryant go back. He's going to roll off, put that left hand up, and fire down there. Doftert's got it, but good coverage again by the Wolves. They just have team speed. At 22, Joe DeGane, who also he doubles as the fullback, makes a good tackle in the open field.
That brings up another 3rd down and long for the Dragons, deep in their own territory. They're going to send a man in motion. That's Sims. No play action this time. It's just a straight pass play, and Bryant throws it out of bounds looking for Sims along the sideline. Brings up a 4th down, and we're going to see the punter for the 3rd time already, Mike Derderian. First quarter, and they're already punting for the 3rd time.
Yeah, Bryant was looking for Sims here over on that left side, but I'll tell you, Clarkston really had it covered. They had 4 white jerseys around 2 potential receivers. Clarkston, if you're going to beat him, someone's got to beat him deep, as you're not going to beat him within the first 10 to 20 yards.
Yeah, of course, and you got to figure eventually you go with the horse who's got you here so far. You got to give the ball to Mahan, make the blockers put the effort up. There's Wasilk deep to receive, the only man deep for Clarkston, and Derderian gets the punt off, and this might not be returnable. Wasilk's going to try, though, and he gets a couple of yards, breaks a tackle or two, and now he gets smothered, but does pick up about 5 yards on the return. And there's an injured player from Clarkston. That's number 41, Ryan Kulka.
They can't afford to lose him. He's a great linebacker.
Yeah, Ryan's a sophomore, 6 foot, 180-pound sophomore. Ryan Kulka, I think you're going to see right at the end of this play, get flipped over by his own guy.
His own guy hit him from behind. And you just don't expect it. You know, you're looking at that punter in front of you. You're not looking behind. Wasilk on a return decides to take it. He shakes off a couple of tackles, but baby, hold on to that ball. Too much traffic on a wet field.
Call that gangrene. Total yards so far in Lake Orion's favor. Clarkston, some of that's got to be the penalty yardage.
Yes.
And Phelan with the carry there picks up about a yard, bring up 2nd down and 9.
Phelan, you see Fife, sophomore to sophomore. Dane, the sophomore, hands to Phelan, the sophomore, and he just battled his way forward. I tell you, I like this Phelan. He's 5'8", 160. He's got good speed, but for a sophomore, really knows how to find the holes.
2nd down and 9 for Clarkston Wolves. Dane Fife's got it in Lake Orion territory, brings a man in motion, tight end, sets him up on the left side of the line now. Now he drops back, and he's looking across the field for Wasilk and hits him. First time he looks for Wasilk is a completion.
Nice pass from Dane Fife. He really was on the money. 80 Mike McCutcheon in on the coverage there, but Fife just threaded the needle, and those two are a deadly combination. I think Wasilk's double covered tonight. There was one
at least
one guy covering him deep and one guy covering McCutcheon, number 80 here, covering him on the inside. Comes in here right there. He's just a little bit late getting over there. And you can see Dane just threads it between the double coverage. Great pass.
Wasilk's going to come out for this play. You know, we talk about 2,000 yards. Wasilk, that's his 44th catch. He's got a shot at 50, which in high school football in a 9-game season is a pretty tremendous accomplishment. That's Ryan Chapman with the ball going up the middle behind the line. It's about 3 or 4 yards as you see that basketball clock rolling down at the end of the first quarter here. Dennis Mahan not getting a whole lot of yards in this first quarter.
No, he's going to need some more carries to get it done tonight. He hasn't seen the ball much.
And he's going to need a lot of help from the Hosses up front. And you never know, maybe at halftime, you know, or even in the second quarter, they're going to decide to, you know, get a little angry. And if you can't make the playoffs yourself, at least keep somebody else out.
Yeah, they're on their home field. Last game as a senior. I think they're going to take some people out tonight.
You see Ryan Chapman lined up at tailback. Play action to him. Fife keeping the ball, and he's going to be stopped for a huge loss. Big sack there by big number 89. That's Andy Walker.
5 green jerseys in the backfield there, and Walker really showed some good speed.
6 foot, 225 pounds. That's a big fella.
And he can move for a big kid, too. Watch Fife take his deep drop here. He's got one guy back to help him, but look at this. 4 guys from the other way. Walker leads the bunch. Nice tackle going down right at the midsection. Beautiful tackle.
That's the end of the first quarter, and we are scoreless, and that seems to be the theme lately around here after first quarter on a TCI game of the week, scoreless. And we'll remind you, next week, we're going to try and we'll find you the best playoff matchup we can. We've got a few teams that are going to be in the playoffs. Kimball, Troy, we're not sure about a few others, maybe even Clarkston, but we'll be showing whatever we think's the best playoff game for you next week, next Saturday and Monday at 8 p.m. on Channel 63.
High school playoffs, nothing like it, I'm telling you. Turn off the boob tube with these college games and these pro games. Get out and see some emotional, just firecrackers. These high school games, especially the playoffs, it's wild. It's do or die.
Especially because in high school they don't penalize you for having some emotion yet.
Yes.
You've gotten to that level yet.
Players are going nuts.
Yeah, in college and the pros, you get suspended and everything if you have any kind of emotion.
They fine you $500 when you're making $3 million, you know.
Is that in college or the pros?
Oh, we'll keep it down. We're not talking Division I, are we?
Well, Miami, Florida, Nebraska, I don't know. Anyway, it's third down and 21 for Clarkston near midfield, probably at the Lake Orion 47, we'll call it. Dane Fife comes up over center, barking out the signals, trying to draw him off sides. It looks like no play action this time. He's just going to go with a straight pass to Wasilk. Good catch, overthrew him a little bit. Well short of the first down, though. It's going to be a 4th down and 11.
Nice catch by Wasilk. You saw him get up off his feet, nice hands. Watch Fife take his deep drop here. He's looking for Wasilk the whole way. He's got a little bit of time. He gets it off quick. And here's Wasilk. He comes up high. Nice catch. Take it up high. Avoid the hit. He's got good hands, Wasilk.
I don't know if you can see Dane Fife got nailed when he let go of that ball.
He sure did. How many catches is that for Wasilk now?
That's 45 on the year.
That's unbelievable, really. And wait till he gets on a basketball floor. He's got a heck of a 3-point jump shot. He's just a great athlete.
I was going to say 2 catches for 23 yards for Wasilk, and it's the same thing there. Dane Fife at point guard, Fife to Wasilk for the score. As it is, Teague's going to have to punt on 4th down and 12 for Clarkston. Mahan's deep to receive, but he's not real deep. I think they're planning on this being a touchback or a fake, and it is a fake to Ryan Chapman, and it's not going to work. Huge tackle by the main man of their defense, Dan Flanders, number 55. Talking to their coaches before the game, they said he is the #1 defensive player we've got. Might even be the best player on the team, except for Dennis Mahan.
Yes, he's got good foot speed, Flanders. 5'9", 175-pound senior, but he's a great tackler, and he's quick in the open field. He's got great strength. For 175, he doesn't play it. He plays like somebody 220.
And we got to get the credit in there to their special teams coach, Bob Carlton. He's the guy who gave us all this information. Also the running backs coach, so he takes credit for everything Dennis Mahan does, even if he doesn't deserve it.
Well, those special teams right there, that they were ready. That punt return team was looking for the fake.
And now Clint Bryant's going to give it off to Mahan, and they've got a linebacker in there at tight end going in motion, leading the way. I don't know if you could see that, but they got big fellas back there. They're trying to open up some holes for this guy.
Just caught your joke there, Joe, and I don't know. I think you're going to have some people battling you next time you come out to Lake Orion.
Bobby knows I'm kidding.
Watch Clint Bryant here, hand off to the main man, Mahan, off the right tackle, looking for room, getting behind the houses, and he just bowls forward for maybe 4 or 5 yards. What did he get, about 4 on that one?
It looks like about 4, and it's going to be 2nd down and 6. And we might have to get on Bobby about this number change he gave us that I think might have been inaccurate. We'll talk about that in a second. Bryant's going to play action and throw until he gets it off to D'Onofrio. Picks up the first down, but there's a flag in the area of clipping or holding. This is probably going to come back.
Yeah, it looks like a holding.
And we were told that McGill, number 58 on the roster, is now wearing 19, and 58's been out there a lot, and I don't see a 19 anywhere on the field. And I'm guessing that McGill's probably switched back, because 58 is also the only guy in the field without his name on his jersey, which is making it really hard for us. But he's the linebacker who's playing tight end.
Yeah, the penalty was for ineligible receiver downfield. One of the linemen slipped out and got too far downfield. You'll see Clint Bryant make a nice throw, throws a shot to Dave D'Onofrio. He's open in the open field. He's 6'1", 225, runs it out, but it's all going to come back. One of the linemen got out.
Yeah, 2nd down and 12, and the lineman had to get out real quick because that was not a long drop back he took. He got rid of the ball in 3 seconds.
Bryant so far has been impressive with the gun. He's 6'2", 155. He's a senior, lefty, and he can throw.
This is a guy who's huge drive against Adams to win the game, a 58-yard play, and then a game-winning touchdown pass with 7 seconds left. But he's being flushed out of the pocket here, and he's going to have to show his legs rather than his arm, and he does. Finally stopped by number 22, Joe DeGain, but he gets them to where they'll be 3rd down and about 3, well within range to make that first down.
Yeah, big gain, almost a first down. DeGain came up and made the stop. Watch Bryant now take the deep drop. He's got protection back here. He's looking, but there's 4 white jerseys. He sees him. He tucks it in and gets away from pressure. And look at the foot speed on a wet field. He really made a nice run, but tuck that ball in here, avoid the fumble. Watch DeGain come up and put the helmet.
Boom.
He's looking to hit the ball. Clarkston is looking to make tackles for turnovers, Joe. Remember the coaches told us that?
Well, and that's something from scouting they decided that, because Lake Orion's coaches will be the first to admit this. That's what's killed them. They lose games on turnovers and mistakes, bad snaps, penalties, and they're going to try to force it.
Yep, they say that those ball carriers hold that ball loose. They're looking to strip it. Here's Mahan.
And Mahan takes it to the outside this time, picks up the first down, but once again there's a flag, and Again, that's right where they usually call holding or illegal use of hands or something like that, but it's probably coming back.
There's just a glimpse, a brief one, of what Mahan can do. I mean, if he gets out around that corner in the open field, he's gone.
That's got to be frustrating for the Lake Orion coaching staff. A hold's going to bring it back, and what would have been a first down is now going to be third down and about 12 or 14 or something like that, depending on where the hold happened.
Pitch, get Mahan out right, get him behind a couple blockers now, get him into the open field. Look at the speed. He's got power, too. Lowers the shoulder, but it's all coming back. Too many penalties for the Dragons.
Facing Rich Burrell, sending the play in with Clint. Bryant got his quarterback coming over to get it himself. Third down and 11, a long 11.
You know, penalties and turnovers really hurt this team. Take those away, especially some big turnovers late in the game. You can't be turning the ball over late in the fourth quarter.
They lost last week to Rochester 17-14. They said there were 12 plays that were either bad snaps, fumbles, interceptions, things like that. You know, major turnovers or plays that at least messed things up, that killed them.
And it's a senior-led team.
Bryant this time goes downfield, and depending on where they spot this, it's going to be the first down. Nice catch there by number 49, Matt Yankee, a senior, his last home game. Matt's only 5'6", 145 pounds, but he picks up the first down.
Yep, Bryant found Yankee there, only 5'6", but he found that jersey, and he really put it on the money. Watch Bryant roll out left here.
And he picks up the first down by less than the length of a football, I believe.
And he put this throw on the money, right into Yankees' numbers, right there. Tuck it away, and Chapman's right on his back.
Yeah, good coverage, really. It's just that the throw was there. As it is, first down right at midfield for the Dragons.
These are high school kids, and look at that throw, right on the money.
Now they're going to give it off to D'Onofrio, the fullback, first man through, and he stopped after a gain of about 3. Ryan Schlaff leading the way.
That good tackle from Schlaff. He's a big fella, and he really laid the wood here. See, first man through, it's D'Onofrio. Watch Schlaff come in right here and lay it on him and take him down. Only about a 2-3 yard gain. Schlaff has got some good strength. He had help on that one. The interior line of Clarkston is tough. Where they're vulnerable is deep, and deep coverage.
That offensive line is going to have to keep opening holes for Lake Orion. Guys like Weaver and Tucker and Machieski, a few other guys will get in later. D'Onofrio, they fake the pitch to D'Onofrio. Bryant's going to keep it. Looks like he wanted to run the option out to Mahan. That's something we saw them doing a lot against Adams earlier in the year, too, where Bryant would keep the ball. He gained something like 40 yards that game rushing.
Yep, Jamie Mutter on the stop there, but then Ryan Schlaff. Watch the foot speed of 67. Ryan Schlaff, he'll come all the way across the line as Bryant cuts it up right here, sees a little bit of hole. First shot here, there he is. There's Schlaff, 67 on the stop. He came all the way across the field. Clarkston has great, great foot speed.
As it is, a third down and 6, the 8th play of the drive. Bryant coming up behind Andy Patton, takes the snap. He's looking downfield. He's got his tight end open, but he goes over the middle instead and completes it for a first down to Kerry Sims. He had Andy Walker open on the left flat. Not sure if he was far enough for the first down, but he saw Sims coming over the middle and did pick it up.
Yep, Sims is the money man. Bryant goes back. He's trying to find Sims all night. This time he sees him, and look at this throw. In traffic, he fires a strike on the money, and Sims has got the hands. He's bread and butter all year long. Nice catch, and there's the first down for him.
And you can see that line again. Steve Allison, you can see in the screen, number 68, holding off a blitzing lineman there. Actually giving him some time. That was a problem earlier when he got flushed out and had to run.
Exactly. Give him a little bit of time to throw, and he'll get it done.
And if he can open up some lanes with that passing, that's going to free Mahan for some running yards, too. And we're going to find out right now as Mahan takes it on the draw, makes a nice move, cuts to the outside, and this is your patented Dennis Mahan run. This could be a touchdown. It is.
Gone. He knows what to do with that ball.
39 yards. 39 yards for Dennis Mahan. It's the 21st touchdown of the season for him. That's got him, we talk about him leading the county in rushing. 22 touchdowns by Eric Morris of Berkeley is tops in the county so far. He's only one behind Eric, depending on what he does this week.
Boy, does a Dragon crowd like this one. Mahan pops it off the right side. The pass opened up that interior. The linebackers were back. Mahan's got the speed in the open field. Watch this. He'll just duck out right here. See ya. Nice block to free him there.
Yeah, Rick Green with a great block downfield. And when you got receivers that can make those blocks, that helps a lot. The extra point up and good by number 15, Mario Brochi.
Yeah, that was a great block from Green, but I don't know if Mahan needed it. It sure helped, but Mahan was gone. He knows what. Once he gets the 5 to 7, 10 yards on him, he just ducks out right. Watch him off tackle here. It's a patented Lake Orion play. Bust off the tackle. He's got nobody there, nothing but acreage, and he goes right to the outside.
And we were just talking about it, too. Once that passing attack legitimizes itself and the defense has to respect Clint Bryant's arm, they can't just come up and gang up on the run, and look what it does.
Yep, the linebackers have to come back a little bit, start playing pass. That's why when you see Mahan get through the first part of the line, the interior line, there's nobody there. Where are they? They're back 5 yards because they were playing pass.
And now Clarkston's down 7-0, and they're the team that's playing for everything. Lake Orion's playing for that winning record and just, leave him with a good feeling and maybe trying to get him close to 2,000 yards.
Yep, they went, 78 yards on 9 plays. And boy, Mahan took off the 39-yard run. He's lightning in the open field. He's got to be Oakland County's best running back.
Well, he's got 56 yards right now, and if he's not the best, he's in the top 3 or 4. There's Jason Granger over at Farmington Harrison, Brian Marshall at Brother Rice, and I know the people at Berkeley love Eric Morris. He's going to Michigan State next year. But yeah, Dennis Mahan's as exciting as there is.
Right, and what is unbelievable is there's not more scouts all over this kid.
Now, one, he's a Division I baseball player, and he's fast for high school, but apparently he's not fast for college, and they
bring him into the
they over-scout on that size thing. But here's the kick return by Wasilk, and he gets good yardage on that past the 30-yard line. Finally brought down by Rivera and McCutcheon. But a good return by Wasilk.
Wasilk showed good speed there. He broke it off to the right, had a little bit of a hole, but Rivera and McCutcheon came up and closed it fast. They're both fast themselves. You'll see Wasilk, he finds an opening. Right here he thinks he's got a hole, but there's the shot coming in, and he's taken down. McCutcheon and Rivera especially, 5'8", 145, and good speed from Rivera.
Now the Clarkston offense comes out with a little pressure on them, and Dane Fife with a 2-step drop looks for Wasilk, and he dropped it. It's there, and he dropped it. Good coverage by number 24, Doftert, but the play should have been made.
Yeah, it should have. He should have held on, but Doftert really put a shot on him. They're fired up. That touchdown by Mahan really brought some life into the Dragons.
Yeah, when you talk about guys that play other sports, too, as you see the Lake Orion Dragon. There's another good running back in Oakland County. In fact, Bob Carlton, we talked about, also coached him, Jordan Herrick at Seaholm, a great running back. He's kind of small. He's a Division I lacrosse player, and when you can be Division I at something else, you go with it, and that's probably what Mahan will do with baseball. Here you see Phelan taking it to the outside, and he's going to get a long run of his own. Finally run out of bounds by McCutcheon, but not till he gets into Lake Orion territory and picks up the first down. They're inside the 40 at the 39-yard line.
Yep, McCutcheon made a touchdown-saving tackle on this one. Dane will just pitch off here. Here comes Phelan. Finds a hole, huge hole on the right side. He takes it into open field. He stumbles a little bit, and that buys McCutcheon a little bit of time to cut him off. He picked a bead and cut him off, ran him out of bounds, and prevented the 6.
29-yard gain, and give his fullback Jeff Long some credit for opening that hole up right at the line of scrimmage.
Did he blow a hole? Good speed from Phelan in the open
field. There you
field.
see the fullback Jeff Long just opened up that hole. Now he's going to be in pass protection as Fife looks across the middle and hits the big tight end. That's Justin Morgan, another senior on this team. He picks up about 7. He's going to bring up 2nd down and 3, maybe 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, Morgan, 6'3", about 200 pounds. Big target for Dane. Little play-action fake there. Dump it off. Here's Morgan right over the top. That run had loosened up the Lake Orion defense, made him susceptible to the pass. Nice tackle. He's a big load to bring down in the open field.
Yeah, tackle there by Jonah Doftert. A lot of guys going both ways on both sides of the ball, both teams.
On a wet field, it's going to be hard. Your legs are going to get tired. Come the second half, we might see some huge runs from Mahan.
2nd down and 4 for the Wolves. They're going to pitch it out to Phelan. He's following long, gets one block, and finally dragged down by Andy Patton, or correction, by Dan Geppert, and I don't think he got the first down. He didn't. It's going to be 3rd down and 3.
You see Fife come in here, pitch it off. Here's Phelan with it, looking off right side. Shakes a tackle here, but watch Geppert come up with a nice stop and stop him short of the first down. Geppert can move. He's 6'1", 192. He goes both ways, made a nice tackle, and Clarkston's into short yardage now.
And he was following Jason Olafson, the right tackle, to get that gain. This time, Phelan slips in the backfield, but does get the ball finally and gets enough for the first down. Hole opened up huge on the left side of the line by number 55, Matt Sutherland.
Wow, what a hole to run through. He had 5 yards either way.
Yeah, and he slipped in the backfield. He almost didn't get the ball, and he still was able to get the first down with a lot of room to spare. See that big line there against that big line.
There is these kids are big. I mean, both teams, you can tell they've been lifting a lot of weights. You see them, they don't have all that much height, but they're wide and they fill those jerseys.
And they're strong. Play action this time by Dane Fife, and he's got Wasilk over the middle into triple coverage, and he still catches it. And Dane Fife still puts it right on the money. Tremendous play to throw to a triple covered guy and get a first down at the 11.
Yes, Wasilk was heavily covered on that play, but Dane just threw a strike. Deep drop. He's looking for Wasilk the whole way, and he just fires it right in high on the numbers. He likes to throw it about shoulder to head high and avoid, the arms knocking it down. Good tackle there.
And Dane Fife's only a sophomore. He's got a few years to think about it, and I know he's going to be a Mr. Basketball candidate in a few years, but I sure hope I'd rather see him play college football the way he looks out here today. Of course, I'm biased, but now he pitches out to Phelan, and he's stopped after about a yard gain. Nice tackle there by D'Onofrio. Going to be second down. Actually, it looks like he didn't gain anything. It's going to be second down and 10 from the 11-yard line.
No, nice tackle from the Dragons there as they fought off. They're looking. Clarkston has found something off that left tackle. They keep going back to it. Left tackle pass, left tackle pass. Coach Richardson's seen something on the right side of the Lake Orion defense that he wants to pick on.
And it might just be he's getting those big holes opened up there by Sutherland, too. Dane Fife's going to drop and go into the end zone. Touchdown, Tim Wasilk.
And that's it. I got to name him. Wasilk with a great catch, but he's got to get the name, Joe. He's not Dane Fife anymore. He's the Great Dane. He's got to get it. He's the Great Dane. Oh, he's only a sophomore. Does he thread the needle?
You've been watching too much Dick Vitale.
I've seen him play basketball. This kid can do it. What an athlete. He's going back. Now look at, he just finds Wasilk, and what a throw, a strike. Up high on the numbers. Tuck it in, 6 points. The Great Dane strikes again.
That's Dane Fife's 8th touchdown pass of the season and the 6th one that's gone to Wasilk.
If I tell you who came up with that name, you're going to go out of your mind, Joe.
Oh, God. Well, we were going to get the extra point, and the officials threw a flag before they were able to kick it. And is it a delay of game or some sort of procedure call against, well, they're talking to Clarkston now. And if it's against Lake Orion and they can put this on the 1, do you take it and go for 2?
I'd take 2.
Encroachment call. Once you cross that line of scrimmage, you can't go back, and they might want to go for 2. I think they're going to talk about it. They're going to call a timeout right now. Clarkston will. They're going to have this extra point attempt from the 1-yard line.
Just a small penalty, but hey, look at now. If they get 2 points, they got the lead on that penalty.
That could be a huge mistake.
On a wet field, who knows if you're going to score that many points.
And with a quarterback that can roll out, it gives you a lot of options. A transition tackles tough issues like racism, poverty, and current local problems. Jeffrey Miller hosts this interesting half-hour program designed to open your mind. Watch Transition Wednesday and Friday night at 9 o'clock on Channel 63.
This is a little bit off subject, but a police investigator told me Jeffrey Miller has something going on the Devil's Night Halloween, the whole arson thing. He's going to have Dennis Archer and a lot to do with the fire department, and he does a good job in those stories.
So we'll be sure to watch that.
I will.
All right. You see a lot of the fans out here. It's a nice night, actually. I was a little worried it was going to be raining and windy and everything. It's really a nice night considering the kind of day we had.
I brought my Blue Light Special rain jacket here, Joe. Just in case, No, I picked it up at the Gap. I'll have
nickname from. Who gave the nickname? Who gave the nickname?
Okay, it was my girlfriend. We went. My girlfriend is giving nicknames to high school athletes.
Oh man, Chris Berman, watch out.
We went to Ferndale. It was sold out at 4 o'clock, and it was Clarkston against Pershing in the quarterfinals. And Dane Fife took Winfred Walton to school.
Well, they're going to go for 2, and I think they got it. They do, and let's see who carried that ball in. Probably, I think it's Jeff Long, the fullback, actually, who took that in. I thought it would be Phelan, but I think it's Long, number 44, and it is. And he picks up the 2-point conversion, and what a huge penalty for Lake Orion. It should have just been a tie game. You never know. Maybe the kick won't even go through. As it is, they're down 8-7.
Yep, long there, the sophomore fullback. That encroachment penalty moved it up. They give it off to the 190-pound sophomore, and he just pounded it right off the left side. 2 points, and we take the lead. He just followed
that
4
line
jerseys.
pushing people through there.
That was a huge penalty, Joe. You don't want encroachment right there. It moves the ball too close to the end zone.
And now Dennis Mahan's going to get a chance to do a little kick return. If I'm Dennis Mahan and I need 2,000 yards, catch the ball and fall down. Be on my own 5, 95 yards away, and pick up yardage this way.
Listen to Joe. Oh, Coach, I slipped. I really did. I slipped.
This is, well,
Now you got to give me the pitch out, and I take it 95 yards.
He's not going for a kick return yardage record. He's going for a rushing record.
He can run. He's unbelievable.
Of course, Clarkston's going to kick away from him anyway.
Yes, they have so far tonight.
Ryan Chapman there is going to be doing the kicking off. The first time he kicked it out of bounds, figuring it's better to give it to him at the 35 than to let Mahan maybe bring it all the way back on you.
Coach Richardson said, let's limit his opportunities to kill us tonight. We'll just keep it away from him as much as possible.
Well, they squib it, and as they squib it, the refs throw a flag. So special teams still a little bit of a problem out there for both teams, and they're going to have to kick over. Another encroachment call. Somebody left a little early.
Well, there's mass confusion right now. The scoreboard has gone out. They've lost power on the scoreboard. And the band's down here milling around, waiting to come out at halftime. It went out. I think we're under 2 minutes.
Oh, there it is.
Right over 2 minutes.
2:51.
The band had gone. It came back on, but the band, they were off. They thought it was time to go on the field.
Wishful thinking.
You see them down here. They're pretty close. They were walking out there.
It's a big band, too. We saw them in the pregame.
It's huge.
Doing some nice formations out there with the Lake Orion logo, the same logo you see on the shoulders of their jerseys.
And for the seniors in the band, it's their last performance as well, and they're really fired up. Big crowd tonight, too.
Mahan might get a shot at returning this. Man, maybe not. It's going to go out of bounds anyway. And correct me if I'm wrong, but because the kickoff's from 5 yards back, instead of getting it at the 35, they'll get it at the 40. Wow. I'm pretty sure that penalty carries over into that kickoff as well.
A guy like Mahan, that's huge field position.
He'd probably rather get it at the 35. That's that 65. You need more yards. They need penalties to go back to get him more yardage.
Oh, I just hope the ball player
like
is not concentrating
like
on individual stats and concentrating on winning one for the team.
Should be an agent. No, I'm not thinking agent. Well, Lake Orion's going to make him kick it over. You do have that option. You can decide not to take it on the out-of-bounds play and make him kick off with another 5-yard penalty.
If you're in bounds, yes.
So they are going to kick it off from the 30 now.
You can hear the referees telling the Lake Orion side.
They don't want that clock started yet. And it hasn't. It's still a 2:51.
Coach Burrell's like, hey, I want an explanation of this now.
And if I'm Dennis Mahan, I'd just stand near one of the sidelines because they're not going to kick it down the middle to you.
Well, the crowd was all fired up. They've got time to score. I think they need to get that lead before halftime.
Well, Chapman gets it finally to one of the Lake Orion players. That's number 5, Rick Green. And I think he thought about pitching it back to Mahan for a second there and instead took it upfield and got it to about the 36-yard line. That's very workable. You can get down there in 2 minutes and 35 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, it is good field position. Green just could have really dove on it, but like you said, he picked it up. He turned his back and almost pitched it back.
Hey, there's our guys, Bubba and Pat. Next Roadshow video, they'll take you to the Renaissance Festival. That's the Roadshow video, Thursdays at 9 o'clock on Channel 63. Tape Seinfeld, watch Roadshow.
Yes.
Must-see TV.
Too much product integration on Seinfeld anymore.
There you go. Well, Mahan's cutting and slashing and picking up about 3 yards before he's ganged up on by the entire Clarkston defense. See Eric Lee getting up from the bottom of the stack. There you see the guys. Roadshow video. There's one of them. What's that? That was Bubba, and it's Halloween week. And Bubba, you look better now than you ever did before.
The ghost and goblins have come out, I'll tell you.
Now he's going to go deep. He's got a man, and he just underthrows him. Got his tight end, Andy Walker, downfield, and it was an awkward play from the start, and it was really a good job, Bryant, to get rid of the ball at all, but Andy Walker was open.
Yes, and he's a big fella, but he can get down. He picked it up. He almost fumbled right here. Picks it up off the wet ground, gets behind, buys a little time. Here's Bryant looking, and he's looking down. Nice throw, but it's, I think, a little bit high.
Speaking of product integration, I think they're coming out with Roadshow video trading cards next month. Just those
I
two
just
that
wonder
we saw.
if
That's it.
Bubba and
Just two
Pat are just
cards.
going to, like, you know, pull out the Sprite, open it up, share a snack well or two or whatever.
Exactly. Third down, and Clint Bryant's going across the middle, and he's got Kerry Sims for the first down, and they're in Clarkston territory at the 44-yard line.
Nice pass, good catch, and he threw that ball into traffic. Timeout here for Lake Orion.
We got a Clarkston player on the ground is what we've got.
That'll save him the timeout. You see Bryant take
unless
it down
they
the
called
middle
it already, and they
fire
did.
it.
Lake Orion did call the timeout, and let's see who the injured player is. It may be number 24, Bill Goforth, who made the tackle. I'm not sure. I think that is Bill Goforth. That's the guy who made the stop and put his shoulder into him, and he might have just got his bell rung a little bit. But Lake Orion did take a timeout.
And that was Kerry Sims, their leading receiver, making the catch, 5'9", 140-pound senior. And Goldforth put a shot on him, but Sims held on to that ball. When you catch a ball in the middle of the field, you know you're going to take the shot, catch the ball, and wait for the shot, and Sims did just that.
Hey, Oakland Press editor Neil Monroe hosts a program designed to enlighten you on issues that affect Oakland County. The Oakland Press Perspective airs Friday nights at 8:30 on Channel 63. Oh, and that's his real face.
Our
And the Oakland Press.
Our office is in Oakland County. We have a lot of lawyers in our building, and the big question is, what is going on over by Somerset Mall? The development is unbelievable.
Nice when it's over.
It is unbelievable.
The Oakland Press sports editor Heath Langlois is 2 doors down from us, by the way, covering this game here to see Dennis Mahan's last game. Wow. This is a big game. We always pick the best games. That's Pat Collar's job. You know, he gets paid a 6-figure salary to pick these games. That's in Canadian money, which comes out to about $10, but you know.
Is that Frank's or what is it? No. It's always really. It's great to be able to pick the best game, and they do a good job. And our crew, we get great shots up close. I can't believe it's high school when you're watching.
Now it's 1st and 10, and Clint Bryant's going across to Kerry Sims once again, and he's got it almost to the 20-yard line, to the 21, and Lake Orion is already in scoring position with a minute 35 left and 2 timeouts still to go.
Sims is just bread and butter. Watch Kerry Sims pull it down. Bryant goes back. He's looking for Sims. He looks off to the right, but he wants Sims the whole way. Sims is open. Someone's got to stay with him man-to-man. He beats coverage. Nice catch. He takes the shot. First down, and Lake Orion's looking to score before halftime.
Yeah, Warchuk finally tackled him, and Kerry Sims has picked up 40 yards on those last 2 catches, and this time Bryant looks to the sideline, and again I believe he goes to Sims.
Sims is on fire. Nice catch, and he really took a shot. I think Wasilk
stayed in bounds, though. Wasilk did a good job of keeping him in bounds.
No, I thought they marked it out.
No, they're going to have to call a timeout. They tackled him in bounds, and Lake Orion has to use their second timeout with a minute 13 to go.
Wasilk made a nice tackle to put him down in bounds. And our Mike's guy, did you hear the shot on that one? Sims took a shot.
And again, you got to think that's going to free up Dennis Mahan with a minute 13, and you're already inside the 20. Maybe you do try to run a draw to him.
You're looking for Mahan or Sims, and the band wants it before they get on the field. They want a happy crowd for their final show of the season.
Yeah, as far as field goals go, if you're interested in that, Mario Brochi has only tried 2 field goals all season. He's made both of them, but the longest one was 20 yards, so I don't know what kind of leg he's got as far as distance.
Right, they need another 10, 15 yards here.
There's the Great Dane, as Jack Roberts has dubbed him.
I love that one.
And Dane, I apologize. I had nothing to do with this if you're watching the tape of this.
Hey, Dane, it was all Steffi Kim, Dane.
Clint Bryant, 6 for 10 for 77 yards, and they're showing, for all this Dennis Mahan stuff, this is a balanced attack they've got.
It sure is. Right now, if you're Clarkston, you got to cover 2 people, Sims and Mahan, and hope Bryant doesn't roll out and find room. And if Bryant does roll out, get over here and get out of bounds this time. Don't burn a timeout.
Second down for Lake Orion, and they're going to fake the toss to Mahan, and Bryant looks for D'Onofrio and overthrows him, and he's kind of fortunate that he did. They had a lot of coverage on that play.
Yeah, Mike Underwood, really, 62, came in, had a lot of pressure on Bryant. He made a senior play, though, heads-up play, ditched the ball out of bounds, killed its block. Well, not really out of bounds, just incomplete pass.
And now they've got a 3rd down and about 5.
Here's Bryant. He's going to turn around here on the deep drop. There's 62 Underwood coming in. He beats his man. He's all over him. Good coverage by Underwood. Good pressure. He's only a sophomore. He's 6 foot 190, but Underwood, as a sophomore, can really play ball.
What do you say, call a draw to Mahan here?
Yes. Get the ball in Mahan's hands. He's dangerous. He's got 21 touchdowns.
3rd down. They're not going to do that. They're going to throw once again. They're going to the end zone for Kerry Sims, and it's broken up, but they're going to flag that. Tim Wasilk bumped into him, backed into him, knocked him down, and that's going to be first down, and the clock stops.
Yeah, too much contact in the back. I think Wasilk grabbed his jersey from behind. The official was right there, and it was hard for us to see from our spot. We're going to have to pick it up on the cameras. Bryant going deep, looking for Sims. He wants to strike before halftime, throws it up high. It's a jump ball, but Wasilk's on his back. Questionable call.
Well,
I don't know.
A lot of body, too, though. Bumping into the body a lot on that
But
play.
it's a free ball up in the air like that, isn't it? What do you want Wasilk to do? I think that was a good play, but
it
it's
is
the referee's call.
High school rules are really bizarre.
What is the rule on that?
Another thing in high school, is that even if he were to, say he overthrew him by 30 yards and he tripped him, it's interference because there's no such thing as an uncatchable ball.
Let's see
So if you make
Wasilk in the
contact,
coverage,
you make
yes.
contact, and you see down here, he's hitting him in the leg. And I bet that's what he
But his
called.
hands on the ball at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Any kind of connection.
It was? Okay.
Any kind of connection to the body, they're going to give the offensive player the benefit of the doubt.
Ken
High school
Phillips,
rules
our
are bizarre.
stat man, telling us that he made contact before he hit the ball.
Yeah, Kenny's the man to talk to. He knows the rules. And Bryant's going to get sacked in the backfield while we're talking about all this.
Did he get out of bounds?
Stopped in the backfield by Joe DeGain, a big senior defensive back coming from behind him.
No, he did not get out of bounds,
And the clock is running. Boy, it doesn't look like it's faster when it's got those tenths of a second. And they are not going to go to the huddle. And you got to think somewhere along the line, you got a timeout left. You got to go to Mahan. And they're still not going to do that. They're going to throw once again, and
Back
he's
to
going to
Sims.
the end zone. And this time he's looking for number 49, overthrows him just barely. Matt Yankee. Matt, who made a huge third down catch for a first down earlier in this quarter, just couldn't stretch out far enough. Of course, Matt's only 5'6", not that much to stretch out.
Well, that was an exciting play there. Bryant comes back and takes it and airs it up high all the way across the field. He's on the far side of the field. He's going to come back over here to his left side. High throw, give his receiver time to get under it. Look at the touch on that ball, the spin. Oh, but he can only get one hand
And
up
right
there.
now, Matt Yankee wishes he was 5'7".
Oh, I know. Yankee wants
1
a
inch.
half more inch. Yeah, 1 inch. Oh, man, almost a touchdown. Nice play, though. But as a quarterback, there's nothing like giving your receiver the opportunity to make a catch by throwing it up high with a nice spiral and let him get up under it.
Well, 27.6 seconds left. And we get to say point something in football. It's always basketball. But Bryant's going to drop back, flushed out of the pocket, gets rid of the ball, looking for Mahan. Instead, throws it right into the hands of a Clarkston defender who drops the ball, Brad Conley.
Lucky he didn't get that picked off.
Whoa.
He was real lucky. He threw that into double coverage, and his man was not open. Totally covered. Surprised to see the senior Bryant as he sees all kinds of pressure there from Chris Evans, number 35. He ditches it off to Mahan, and boy, that should have been an interception.
You take the sack.
Conley just dropped it.
If you take the sack there, you're out of field goal range, and they are going to attempt a field goal, and this will be the longest of the season for Mario Brochi, 30 yards. Kerry Sims is holding. We know we got good hands, so he should get a good hold.
He's with the wind. He's got the wind at his back.
And again, this is to take the lead. They're down 8-7, but it's blocked and picked up by number 24, Bill Goforth. And, Bill, if he hadn't fallen down, he might be able to take that back for a touchdown, but it still prevents it from going for 3. And the block was made by Chris Evans, number 35, the same guy who pressured the quarterback. Let's take a look here from low angle.
Kind of a bad snap. The holder had to go up high, get it, bring it back down, but right here, too much pressure. And it was kicked low right into
Kicked
the
low
line.
into the line, and
It looked like 35. Chris Evans with the block. Nice block, but you can't kick the ball low. You got to get it up high, get some wind under a trajectory there, and get it up.
And they're not going to have to run a play because the clock restarts once you set the ball down. So that's going to be the way the first half ends, with the Clarkston Wolves
4 to 5
taking
plays
advantage
here.
of a penalty and getting an 8-7 lead over the Lake Orion Dragons in it's really been a defensive battle, but we thought was going to be a high-scoring offensive affair.
I think Coach Burrell from Lake Orion is he had 4 or 5 plays there with the ball at the 20, time to score on the clock, the timeouts, and they just couldn't get it done.
And you've got to think at halftime they're going to be thinking about this. Let's not let the last game be the way the season's been all year. And Clarkston, in the meantime, hanging on to the playoffs by a thread, and Dennis Mahan got a long way to go to get that 2,000 yards. And we'll take a look at his stats and all the rest of the halftime stats when we come back here on the TCI Game of the Week.
If You wish a video cassette of TCI Sports. The cost is $25. Send a check payable to TCI, along with your name, address, and the names of the teams that played in the game, to TCI Sports Videotapes, 4500 Delamere Boulevard, Royal Oak, Michigan, 48073. Remember to tell us which game you wish to receive. And thank you for watching TCI Sports.
What TCI is looking to do is we're looking to be a full-service provider, a one-stop shopping place, if you will. We're looking to provide all the services that anyone wants to consume in the area of communications, whether that's cable television, whether that's telephone, whether that's data, online services. Our goal is to be able to provide all those through one avenue, and that avenue being TCI.
Coming up this winter, TCI begins its 10th season of high school and college basketball on the TCI Game of the Week. Each week on Channel 63, you'll catch all the action as the area's best teams match up. And the coverage is what you've come to expect from TCI Sports. Don't miss it. The TCI Sports Game of the Week, coming up this winter on Channel 63.
It's the way you inspire. It's the way you grow. It's the way you lead. It's the way you play. It's the way you work. It's the way you discover. TCI. It's the way you learn. It's the way you learn.
Back here at Lake Orion, Joe Abramson along with Jack Roberts and the Clarkston Wolves out in front of the Lake Orion Dragons, 8-7. All the scoring done in the second quarter, starting out with Lake Orion and their superstar running back, Dennis Mahan.
Yeah, you'll get a good shot of Mahan here. The Oakland County's leading rusher, looking for, he's got to come up with 250 or so yards for 2,000, but here he is, breaking it off on about a 37-yard gain, and he's just tough in the open field. He uses the block here, and he's gone. 6 points, Lake Orion. They punch it in. And then they kicked the extra point, and they were up by 7.
Mahan needed 2:49 coming into the game. He's got 58 at halftime, and later in the second quarter, Dane Fife came back with his favorite target.
Yep, the Great Dane to Tim Wasilk. And 6 points. Clarkston take a penalty, move them closer in, and they punch the 2 and take the lead. Big penalty and a big 2-point conversion for Jeff Long, the sophomore fullback.
That's right, and that's where we stand now, 8-7, and Lake Orion will kick off to open the second half. So Clarkston's got a chance to jump that lead out real quick. There you see the stats, and surprisingly, the passing edge goes to Lake Orion.
Yep, 77-46 there. Even in the rushing end, it's 149 yards to 60, but it's not reflected on the scoreboard. They lead them in first down. And the big thing for Lake Orion, no turnovers. They keep that up in the second half and give the ball to Mahan.
Well, I was going to say, usually when you outgain somebody by that much, it's turnovers that bring it back, but yeah, even time of possessions within a minute of each other.
Right, on 149 total yards, that kind of advantage, you only have 1 minute advantage on the clock.
Well, there's the kickoff. It's taken by Phelan, and he brings it out to about the 32, maybe the 31-yard line, and the Wolves will have it first down and 10. Good tackle made once again by Flanders, the defensive star for the Lake Orion Dragons. Phelan going to line up at tailback now for the Wolves.
Well, let's see what they can do with the drive here, because in the first half, both teams really went 4 and out. Clarkston, the first 2 times they had the ball were 4 and out. They had 6-play drive in the third one. There's Fife tonight, 6 for 9 for 59 yards. A lot of those, including the touchdown to Wasilk. A deadly combination, the Great Dane.
A tremendous completion percentage at 66%, and Jeff Long's going to take it up the middle to fullback, pick up about 3 yards. And I'm guessing that our passing stat totals include taking off sack yardage.
Here they'll pound it to Long, sophomore fullback, first man through up the hole, kind of runs into his own blocker there. And pounds ahead for a couple yards.
And he just got hypnotized by that replay.
Yeah. I was kind of fried there. It was like too much caffeine.
Anyway, Dane Fife with 59 passing yards, a little more than the Clarkston team total, but still going to add to it right here probably as he looks downfield. No, he's not able to. Underthrows Tim Wasilk. Good coverage by the Lake Orion defense. McCutcheon trailing him on the play.
Yep, they were covering him well. I think you're going to see double teaming all over on Wasilk and try to cut him off.
And Wasilk now 3 catches shy of 50 for the season. And he comes in leading Oakland County, but he's only leading by 1 over Mike Stone of Southfield Lathrop. They're really the only 2 with a shot at ending up the leaders because, at least for the official stats, they only count the regular season. So this is the end of it. You can't add any playoff totals because some teams like Southfield Lathrop don't get playoff opportunities.
Here he's got 4 tonight, including the touchdown. I tell you, Wasilk with a couple more catches, I think he'll win it this year for leading receiver in Oakland County.
Well, Fife's going to look for Wasilk right here, and he takes a shot and throws it over Wasilk's head, but give the credit there to the defense of Lake Orion. And once again, it's Flanders who comes in and flattens him. And that forced Fife to throw it over Wasilk's head, and that brings up a fourth down about 6. Take a look here.
You see Fife drop back. No time. Flanders, number 55, the 175, comes right around the end, sticks a shot, and he had some help, and Dane paid the price, and he just threw it high and away. But, man, did he take a shot. Flanders laid into him and got his whole 175 pounds into him. He plays much more like a 200-pounder.
All right, Mark Teague on for his 3rd punt of the day. He's got a 50-yard average so far, including a 58-yarder, and this isn't going to hurt the average much. Mahan calls for the fair catch at the 27-yard line. Dragons ball, 1st down and 10.
Teague's got the leg, and he puts it up high, allowing his teammates time to get downfield. Even a guy like Mahan has no chance of a return because he kicked it so high.
Yeah, Teague, another senior on this Clarkston Wolves team, looking for their 2nd straight trip to the playoffs. Going to get it with this lead.
Coach Richardson really replaced Jason Graves well. Jason Graves punted, kicked off, return kicks, and now he's gone this year. And look at Teague steps right in, and he's punting just like he punted, for the last 3 or 4 years.
A lot of good athletes on that Wolves team, and now the defense is going to have to show something and stop the Dragons on their first drive. First of all, Stenafrio coming off left tackle, gains about 2 yards. Good tackle made there by number 67, Ryan Schlaff.
Yeah, Schlaff has played well all night. 5'11", 200-pounder, but he's got great foot speed, moves. He moves in that interior line well. He knows how to move in traffic. Watch Schlaff just come right across, lose 2 blockers, and there he is fighting off a block and taking on the ball carrier and going down low and taking those legs out. Stays with them and hangs onto those legs. Good tackle for Schlaff.
Brings up a 2nd down and 6, and Dennis Mahan's got a long way to go. Going to need to break a couple to get that 2,000-yard total, and they're going to run a reverse this time to Rick Green, and it doesn't fool anyone. He's brought down in the backfield by number 41, Ryan Kulka, along with Joe DeGain, who wrestles him down.
Yep. Joe DeGain, an all-state wrestler. His father's the coach of the Clarkston wrestling team. But here you'll see they didn't. The Clarkston defense did not fall for the reverse at all as they come around with it. And Green's got nowhere to run. And here's just basically Kulka and DeGain wrapping him up and slamming him down.
Yeah, my fault on that. Warchuk also helping out on that. And DeGain came up after. We had to get that wrestling thing in there. State champ, wasn't he?
Yes, state champion wrestler.
Well, on 3rd down, Clint Bryant looks to he looks outside to number 24, Doftert, but he was getting blitzed big time by number 41, Ryan Kulka, and not able to get the pass off, and now it's 4th and 9. They're going to have to punt.
Clarkston defense came out fired up here in the 2nd half. You'll see Bryant go back. He's looking nowhere to go, and he's got to get rid of it. Terrible throw. He totally misses the receiver, but the receiver was totally covered. Great defense for Clarkston in the first series there.
And there's Wasilk deep to receive the punt of Mike Derderian. 2 punts, a 27-yard average, but one of those was when he slipped and fell on the punt, which had to really hurt the average.
Exactly.
And it was right from that part of the field when he did it.
It's a wet field. High snap.
This one, if it hits, is going to be a little bit better. It does and rolls, and they're going to be able to down it at about the 39-yard line of Clarkston. Clarkston's in their own territory. 1st down and 10, 61 yards away from the goal line. And
I'm looking at number 21. It says Weaverstead.
It's not Weaverstead.
But it's not.
Well, we got to tell you about that. That's actually Tim Wisser, who was number 3. Interesting story. Mike Weaverstead didn't play this year. He had a brain, some sort of, they thought, an aneurysm or a head injury, as you see Dennis Mahan on the sidelines, and the doctors told him he's obviously not playing football anymore. So Tim Wisser elected to switch to Weaverstad's number in a way to kind of honor Mike, because they're both seniors. That's just his way of honoring his friend and kind of playing the season help in his honor. And now the Lake
Trying to
Orion
buy time.
defense gets back on Dane Fife, and somehow he avoids a sack. I don't know how the refs don't blow the whistle, blow him down there, because that's an ankle injury waiting to happen. As it is, it's an incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. Take a look at this. This is where you break ankles and knees.
Yeah, Dane's just trying to avoid the sack here. All kinds of pressure. Pump fake, trying to buy some time. Nothing there. And Lake Orion all over him. He's wrapped up. It should be a stop play. It doesn't. Here he ditches the ball off, and the ref lets it go. But really, he was down there.
Well, that's where you get in. That's where guys get injuries.
Yeah.
And in the long run, I think you'd rather take the sack than the incompletion if you can save your quarterback. Now we get a flag on this play as Clarkston tries to rush it to the outside with Phelan once again. I think it's going to come
penetration
back.
from 55, Flanders, and then what a shot from Rich Hoover, number 77, just laid into Phelan there. But watch his penetration. 55, Flanders just comes in and breaks up the whole play.
Oh, and this isn't coming back. This is a personal foul face mask, which means a 15-yarder and a first down.
Oh, there it is. There it is right there. Hoover grabbed onto his face mask and
they're
just couldn't
saying,
get his hand out of it.
they're saying it's intentional because they called personal foul.
Let's see if we can roll that again. I don't know. He was done tackling him. He wasn't. He reached back in and got a hold of the face mask.
Well, as it is, it's a first down. They're at, I believe, the 46-yard line.
Let's see Hoover here now. He's 77. He'll come in. Flanders here misses. Here's Hoover here. Now watch him get off right here and then reach in. Right there, he's got that face mask.
It really looks like he's reaching for the ball and happens to grab the face mask. Maybe it's always a personal foul in high school. Maybe it's one of those rules. We don't know.
Yeah, that's dangerous play, though. You don't want to reach back in like that. That's what the referee's going to see. Your arm extended, and 9 times out of 10, throw that flag.
And pitch out this time to Chapman, and there's a flag, and it could be a hold, and it could also be a late illegal motion play because they had a guy coming in motion towards the line of scrimmage who was ducking forward before the snap was made.
Wow, to Chapman, he's a senior man. Does he have speed? He just turned. He found a hole there, 6 foot 170, and Chapman just took off, but it's all going to come back.
And they call the hold on Clarkston, so they're going to replay the down. It'll be first down and a long way to go.
Dane will pitch, give Chapman time for the hole to develop. He finds the hole, and he's gone right through here. Look at him. He'll go for first down and more, but it's all for naught.
And brings up a first down and 20 for the Wolves at midfield.
I really think Clarkston's got to get Chapman going on the ground. That was one of his first big gains of the night. He's good for 10 or 12 yards a carry if you can get him out wide and let that hole develop.
Yeah, splitting time at tailback with Phelan, not really able to get in a groove for either guy. And now the fullback slips on the play. That was Jeff Long, got the handoff and fell down as he received the ball, loses about 2 yards on the play.
There's that wet field, Joe. You see Dane come back, hand first man through. It's Long, and he's already fallen to the ground. Nothing there, but look at the penetration by Lake Orion. 3 green jerseys inside, almost taking the handoff from Dane Fife.
Brings up a second down and about 22, I would think. The scoreboard says 21. We'll say 22.
Look for Wasilk here. I think he'll be running into double coverage.
He's already got it on the left side, and he's not even looking at him. And instead, Dane Fife is nailed in the backfield, and I think he fumbles the ball.
He
does, and it's recovered by number 58. And that's Matt McGill, who we thought was going to wear 19. He's wearing 58, makes the sack, forces the fumble, and recovers it all in one play.
Well, the Dragons have made adjustments at halftime, and they are through the line. Dane has no pass protection whatsoever. Right here, he takes a shot. There's the fumble right there. The ball's already loose, coming out right here behind him, and it's Lake Orion. Good recovery.
Huge play by Lake Orion's defense, and now they've got the ball in Clarkston territory at the 36-yard line of the Wolves.
That defensive front for Lake Orion all over.
Dennis Mahan's first carry in a while, picks up about 5 yards, brings up a second down and maybe even 4 yards to go. Gain of 6, second down and 4 for Dennis Mahan.
Let's see the carry here from Mahan. You'll see 56, Jamie Mutter, the outside linebacker, 210 senior, come in for Clarkston and lay a pop on Mahan. He came in, he's kind of standing up there, and you don't want to hold a guy like that up. And that's what the defensive designed to do. Hold him up and let everybody get a shot on him. Hopefully take him out of the game.
See penalties hurting both teams tonight. More yardage and more penalties for Clarkston, but Lake Orion's has been the difference in the scoreboard. Mahan this time taking it outside to the right, not able to turn the corner because Ryan Chapman's there to close it.
Yep, they'll string him out. Run him to the sideline and use the sideline as another defender.
Well, that's something Kurt Richardson told us before the game. He said, we've got the speed to keep with them. If they can take him to the outside and let their D-backs and linebackers handle it, they know they can stop him, and they did.
Here you see the pitch. He'll come off. And no, they didn't pitch. A hand to Mahan. Here he comes around the right side. He's trying to get around that corner, but he can't get by the speed. And Ryan Chapman comes up, runs him out of bounds right here. Doesn't come in to make the tackle until he sees the sideline.
First down and 10, though, and D'Onofrio takes it up the middle. He fumbles the ball, and it looks like a Clarkston recovery. We'll have to wait for the official call. All the Lake Orion guys are saying that they've got it, though. And all the Clarkston guys are saying that they've got it. We'll let the ref tell us.
They're fighting for it.
It's Clarkston's ball. And on the field with the ball is number 35, and he's made a couple big plays today. Chris Evans, who we're pretty sure is the guy that blocked that field goal at the end of the first half, also gets fumble recovery here.
Making the plays. Lake Orion in scoring position, and they were driving, and Evans just punched it out of D'Onofrio there and recovered.
And a huge opportunity for the Lake Orion Dragons is denied by Chris Evans and the Clarkston defense.
Yeah, that 6-foot junior having the night. I mean, really, it's two big plays for Evans.
First and 10 for the Wolves inside their own 20, and Dane Fife's dropping back to pass, and he is rushed by McGill, but gets the screen away. And that's Phelan. He actually picks up some yardage, what looked like might be a loss. He caught it 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, was able to elude a couple tacklers and gain about 3 yards.
Good move right there to duck off on those first two. What they're doing is with this kind of pursuit from the defensive front, run a screen, suck them all in and dump it off over here. And there it is, nice catch. You're going to see Phelan come in here, duck those first two. Good moves. He thinks he's out, but he just kind of stumbles forward there. Someone got his ankle.
Yeah, Flanders kind of hit him on the heel. I think took his balance away, and on this slippery field, as we've mentioned, any little touch to a runner is going to throw his balance off. Second down and about 7 for the Wolves, and they're going to give it off to Phelan this time. And he picks up a yard, maybe 2. It's 3rd and long now for Clarkston.
In the second half, Clarkston has not been able to blow that offensive line. There's been no holes up front at all.
Yeah, and now, as you can hear the punt return call over the field microphones, Lake Orion's anticipating a defensive stop here on 3rd down, and they want their punt return unit out there on the next play to get them good field position once again. But first, you've got to stop Dane Fife and the Clarkston Wolves here on 3rd down, and he rolls out, and he's pressured, gets the pass off, and it's a first down to Jeff Long.
Nice throw, good catch.
Tremendous pressure by Steve Weaver for Lake Orion. Got in Fife's face, but he was able to get the pass off. Take a look.
Dane with the deep drop. Here comes Weaver right up in him. He dumps it off right over the front to the fullback. Good catch here, but look at this shot. Kranick just lays his shot on him, but not enough. Not in time to prevent the first down because he went over the top of his defender and fought for that first down. Jeff Long, the sophomore, making a senior-type play and getting that extra yard out of it.
Right, Paul Kranick with the tackle. Number 20, a junior. He'll be back next year.
That was a good hit.
1st and 10 for Clarkston, and the punt return unit can take a rest for a while for Lake Orion. And this is Phelan with a nice move to the outside. Picks up 5 yards. Probably should have gained 1, but he put a little juke step on him and got an extra 4 yards out of it.
Jonah Dofter came in there and finally made the stop, but boy, he burned that first guy. You see Phelan come up with a quick feed. Watch him juke right here. Nice stop.
Oh,
bought some time there. He's gone, but here comes Dofter over here. Nice stop. Good open field tackle coming from the weak side.
Able to contain him, make him force it back to the middle. And there's Dennis Mahan with his running back coach, Bob Carlton, with the hat on backwards. Bob's always looking stylish. Pass there by Dane Fife, incomplete to Brad Conley. You know, Bob used to be the offensive coordinator at Seaholm, so he's cool.
Personal
He knows.
friend, huh?
He was until now, I guess. He probably won't speak to me now.
Conley's got to hold on to the ball over the middle like that. That's a chance for an interception.
Yeah, that was a good defense, though, by the Lake Orion Dragons, able to get their pressure Fife. Now he's got a 3rd down, long 4, short 5, and he's looking to Wasilk, and he dropped it. I don't think it got deflected. Dofter was there in between. Green actually had Wasilk covered, and Dofter was in between him, and he put his hand up, and maybe it distracted Wasilk, but that's the second time that he's dropped the ball tonight.
Oh, I think Wasilk was just kind of looking a little bit before he had the ball. You see good pressure there. He dumps it over the top.
And doesn't get touched.
Wasilk just kind of looked, see, before he had the ball. He didn't wait for the ball. Catch it first and then go. It's a common mistake.
And to his defense, he didn't have a first down there if he catches it, and the defense was there. He wasn't going to get the first down either. Now Teague comes up for his 4th punt of the day.
He was going to make a move on Rick Green coming up there and try to beat him for 5 yards.
Mahan's going to get a shot at returning it. gets about a yard or two on that return. Good coverage by the Clarkston special teams unit, led by number 21, Tim Wisser. We mentioned earlier in the second half, good coverage by Clarkston. Lake Orion's ball at their own 31-yard line.
Wisser laid a shot on Mahan right there. Wisser's been all over. He blocked the field goal. He recovered the fumble. And, man, did he pop a lick right there on Mahan. You don't want your star taking shots like that in the open field. That might be the end of his night.
No, punt returns, injured players on punt returns can kill a team's season. The Brother Rice football team can tell you about that. They lost their quarterback on a punt return this year.
Yeah, you're all alone back there. You catch that ball and look out.
Now, Dennis Mahan's all alone right now and taking it to the outside, and he's got one man to beat, and it's Wasilk, and he can't do it, but still picks up about 15 yards and a first down. Wasilk and Chapman able to close him down, but not before he gets the first down.
Boy, that punt return woke him up. Here's Mahan. Come in here, take the handoff. Now come out here, get outside, around the corner. He's got him beat on the corner, and he knows it. Look at him now. It's just a foot race. Watch him put the left shoulder down and take somebody out right here. It's Wasilk. See ya.
And Wasilk doing a good job, though, of closing the corner on him with Chapman coming behind. And that guy right there, 49, Matt Yankee, made a good block on Wasilk early in the run that allowed him to get outside.
Yeah, and Wasilk did. He recovered off that block, came down, picked the spot, and really spotted up and ran him out of bounds. But that's why you wear padding, and I really think Mahan plays a lot bigger than his size.
And now they run with the fullback, D'Onofrio, up the middle, gains a yard, maybe two, right into the Clarkston line. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 8 for the Dragons.
See, what they want to do here offensively is pound it in the middle, and get that Clarkston defense buying in the middle and open up the ends for Mahan so he can get around the corner.
And remember, the one drive where Mahan really let loose, where he got that 39-yard touchdown run, was when they were passing the ball. And
they
it loosened that defense up.
Right, pounded up the middle, tighten up that Clarkston defense. So you got 4 or 5 white jerseys in the middle. Now we'll go around the corner, see if we can get Mahan around the end.
Well, it's 2nd down here, and Bryant's going to keep it on the option, pitch it out to Mahan, and he's got a hole, and he could be gone once again. Look at this guy go, finally run out of bounds.
Him and Wasilk are going at it in the open field. Boy, what a run.
The leading rusher in Oakland County just plows into the leading receiver Oakland County, and they are going at it.
Right, here comes Bryant. First man through, fake to the middle, get him by in the middle, takes him around the end. Good pitch right here, right before he takes a shot, and Mahan's loose around the corner. And he's in the open field. He knows what to do with it. He puts the ball on the outside so you can't tuck it away for a fumble, and there he goes. He's going to take Wasilk on. Nice. He likes to lay that shoulder.
That's the old Walter Payton theory. If you're going to get hit anyway, you might as well make the defender feel a little pain. 12 carries, 121 yards for Dennis Mahan. Still got a long way to go. He's about halfway there for that 2,000. Probably not going to get it, but
Lots
he's given a great effort.
Turning around and going, how many yards for Mahan? How many yards?
Yeah, and it's, 121. It's amazing that 121 could be below your average. That's how good this guy is. But that 2,000 is within reach. And there's 2 other guys in Oakland County with a shot at 2,000, because officially, as far as the state's concerned, playoff games do count. And Jason Granger of Harrison has 1434. Brian Marshall of Brother Rice 1424. They're both going to the playoffs most likely. They might be able to get 2,000 in a 10, 11, 12-game season. But Mahan might do it in a 9-game season. There's our score. Clarkston 8, Lake Orion 7, and Lake Orion is driving.
I want to tell these fans, who cares about how many yards he got? We're down by 1. I'm with Coach Burrell on the sidelines. Let's get some points. Worry about the stats when the game's over. Win the game.
First down and 10, and Dennis Mahan's going to try to do both right here. He picks up about 7 yards, and they're going to call him down. Or did he recover his own fumble? Well, yeah, he comes up with the ball. Even if he did fumble it, he comes up with it.
I think Kolka reached in and stripped him. Boy, they're trying to strip that ball. Mahan likes to change that ball. He goes through the line, and now he's going to change it from the right or left. He just took a helmet.
Take a look at him break that tackle right there, though.
Yeah, that was a nice shot in there from Mike Underwood, number 6'2". He fumbled. What did he do, dive on it? He dove on it.
He fell right on it.
Wow.
Good fortune falls on Dennis Mahan.
And he just beat Warchuk to the ball on that one.
2nd down and 4. This time Bryant gives it off to D'Onofrio right up the middle, and he picks up the first down most likely. It looks like it's going to be close.
Now we're going back. Game plan. We're going back. We're buying the defense in the middle of the field. Middle of field. Mahan out loose. First man through right here. Just get a couple yards. If he gets more, that's fine. We want that defense by in the middle of the field. You see Clarkston, he got 4 or 5 jerseys. That's what we want. We want to see a lot of white jerseys in the middle. Now we'll take Mahan to the corner one-on-one.
When you see guys like Steve Allison and Machieski and all those guys leading the way on the offensive line, opening those holes, that's going to help both those running backs out. Now we're going to get the official's measurement right here. and he's just shy of the first down by less than the length of a football. 3rd down and inches.
This really is a huge 3rd down.
Well,
play.
earlier on 3rd and less than a yard, they tried to throw, but it was deep in their own territory, and they had to punt. Now here, it's probably 2-down territory. Probably you can go to Mahan, you can quarterback sneak it, or do you try to go deep one time, maybe to Kerry Sims and come back on 4th down?
I say get the first down first and don't fumble.
Coming to near the end of the 3rd quarter here, and they are going to give it to Dennis Mahan, and he picks up the first down, and he may get in the end zone. Sneaks into the end zone. Great run by Dennis Mahan with a little help on the outside from one of his receivers who's still on the ground. That was Kerry Sims with a great block in the open field, and Mahan picks up touchdown number 22 on the season.
Sims, the receiver, came over, gave a nice block, and Mahan knows what to do with it when he finds an opening. Bryant hands off. You're seeing the best tailback probably in Oakland County. Here he comes. It's going to take more than one guy to get him. He beats one, and he just plows it through here and gets it in. What's that, his 22nd of the year?
22, and again, depending on what Eric Morris of Berkeley does today, Morris came in with 22 touchdowns. So if he doesn't score right now, they're tied for the lead, and Lake Orion's going to go for 2 right here. And this time Bryant rolls out, and he's going back across the field, and he was looking for the big tight end, Andy Walker, but the play was broken up by Wisser.
Wisser's everywhere on these
He's all
big
over the
plays.
field. That play, that cross the field pass didn't fool anybody, as you'll see here.
He's trying to come back. He's looking left. Now he's going to come back to the right side, but Wisser's right there. Look at this. 21 Wisser's been in now. He blocked the field goal, recovered a fumble, and he broke up that play. That's 5 points he's taken away. Mahan's got to score again if they're going to win tonight.
Well, they're still got the lead, though, and there's one of his big hosses, number 78. No, but Andy Patton's real important. He's been making a lot of big blocks on that offensive line. And Mahan now, ironically, is not only tied with Eric Morris in terms of touchdowns with 22, but both guys, as you see replay of the touchdown by Mahan, each guy has one
right here
two-point
he's saying,
conversion.
I'm taking it in. Touchdown time. It's my time, and he's in. I tell you, Mahan knows how to get it into pay dirt.
And the overall point total lead in Oakland County is tied right now at 134. And hey, the Master Anglers, join Mark Gomez as he takes you on the waters of Michigan on the Master Anglers. He and his guests will give you the advice you need to reel in a fish, just like that one you saw there. Thursday nights at 8 on Channel 63. Take friends, watch the Master Angler. And this is Brad Phelan, and he could go. He's got Rivera chasing him, and it's a foot race, and now he just loses his balance. And inside the 10, official's going to call him down at the 9. He never got tackled on the return. A tremendous return by Brad Phelan inside the 10-yard line, and that lead that Lake Orion just took isn't going to last long.
No, not at all. And here's Phelan. You'll see him now. He'll find an opening. He'll cut back right here. Some great blocks up front, right in there. Huge hole, and he's gone. He's got one man to beat here, and he'll come in here, juke left. He'll go back to the right, beats his man, uses the block. But right here, I think he slips on the turf a little bit. It's wet right in there. And he just kind of slips and falls down at about the 5. Oh, he got tripped in the foot.
That was Rivera who tripped him. Rivera got the foot, and then McCutcheon came from behind. After that was Silk, who
I didn't think Omar Rivera caught him, but he did.
Did you notice the block Wasilk made to start to free up that hole? The guy, he does more than just catch the ball and make tackles in the secondary. He's helping guys get open. And now Clarkston's not going to bother taking a snap. They're going to let the quarter end. There's the Lake Orion drive. 6 plays, 69 yards. Mahan, of course, the guy that scored. And that's the end of the third quarter. And right now, Lake Orion has the lead 13-8. And Clarkston's got to score and take the lead back if they want to keep their season alive in the playoffs next week. And Dane Fife might have to be the guy, even though they're inside the 10. You still might want to go with the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I still say they're going to... They'll probably pound the football. Here's Phelan again right here in the open field. And he uses the block right here. There was a nice block in the open field. Trying to pick up the number. It's number 52, I believe. Great block.
Yeah, that block there was made by Travis Pegg. The block I was talking about from Wasilk came real early in the play that opened him up right at the start of the return.
Omar Rivera gets his ankle right in there, I think.
There it is.
Just got him.
Just enough to stop him. And I don't know if McCutcheon was going to close in quick enough to prevent the touchdown or not, but it doesn't matter.
Phelan couldn't believe it. He thought he had him beat. He looked back. Who got me?
He's got to be out of breath. And Kurt Richardson's got to be a little nervous right now, knowing what all this game means to his team.
You know, when you give up a touchdown like that on someone else's field, the whole crowd gets into it. They take the lead. To turn it around this quickly could silence this crowd and eliminate the home field advantage for Lake Orion.
Well, they weren't able to get much on that play. Second down and goal. The ball spotted just inside the 10 at the 9-yard line.
They just want the same thing. They're going to get the Lake Orion defense buying up the middle. Now I think you're going to see Dane wheel it out a little bit, get around the corner. He's got all kinds of options out wide. He's got Phelan, he's got Wasilk, he can pass, he can run, he can keep it himself.
Rich Burrell and his Dragons hoping to end Clarkston's season here tonight. And Fife play action rolls out. He's looking into the end zone. No one's open, and he wisely throws it out of the back of the end zone. He was looking for number 22 to gain, and Wasilk was also there, but there were 3 Dragons all over the area, and Fife very alertly threw it out of bounds where nobody could catch it.
Yeah, big pressure here from the Lake Orion defense. Dane has no time to throw. He's trying to roll out, buy some time, but he sees pressure. I'm trying to see, it's 52 there from the Dragons. Good pressure, and Dane just ditched it out of there.
Yeah, good pressure by Freiberger.
I couldn't see his number. That green is really meshing in the lights.
Same color as the grass, that's the problem. 3rd down, and they're going to the end zone, and the receiver turns one way, and it's picked off in the end zone by Rick Green. The receiver turned left. That was Wasilk. Fife threw right, and it was right to the Lake Orion defender, Rick Green.
Miscommunications. I think Dane thought he was cutting to the inside on a post, and he ran it out, and there it was. There was a pickoff for Green. He made a nice catch. Here, Dane sees, he's seeing him on the inside, and he's not there. The receiver turns out, he tips it up, and Green stays with it and comes down with it inbounds.
Remember, you only need one foot in, and Wasilk was going for the sideline, and he was looking slant towards the back of the end zone.
That's why you have your wide receivers playing defensive back. They have the best hands. Unbelievable. What a swing for Lake Orion.
Oh, now.
In the first half, they couldn't score inside, and now they turned it around, and Clarkston couldn't get it done.
And that's the biggest missed opportunity for Clarkston probably all year.
Well, Mahan got behind a wall of blocks on that one.
Yeah, and that doesn't look like much, but he just gained 5 yards.
Yep. Yeah, you don't see Clarkston on plays like that. They don't miss many opportunities. Here's Mahan, gets behind some blockers there. He's got a lot of room. Number 70, Shane Tucker, opens up the hole for him.
Yeah, well, when you say as far as the biggest miss of the year, considering what this game means, too.
Right. This is the playoffs now.
Last week to lose in the 4th quarter the way they did, and then to have this knowing that all you have to do is win one of these 2 games. If you can't, it's one of those things that's going to stick with you.
Now, a long drive here from the Dragons could really eat up the clock.
Well, this time they go to D'Onofrio up the middle, and that's what they're trying to do is eat the clock up.
Good tackle.
The old 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and actually that was Doftert. I stand corrected. D'Onofrio on the sidelines right now, but they are going to that pounded out running game that they've been known for, and the Clarkston defense is going to have to come up with a big stop.
Doftert cracked it up the middle there, and Mike Underwood came up. The sophomore, 6 foot 190, outside linebacker, closed the gap early and made a nice tackle.
Yeah, Doftert's still in there at fullback with Mahan behind him, Clint Bryant at quarterback. 3rd down and a long 1. Maybe even a short 2 for the Lake Orion Dragons, and they're going to go to the horse. Dennis Mahan almost fumbles the ball, but he hangs on, and this is too close to call. He's right at the spot of the 1st down, and I think he's just short.
Boy, Jonah Doftert really laid a nice block for him, created a little bit of gap, but Clarkston had a lot of help, a lot of white jerseys here. There's Mahan behind Doftert, 24. Look at that block right here. Ooh, almost fumbled
it, got it back, but I don't
Chapman
think
was looking for the ball, wasn't he?
Yeah, he and Warchuk both. And now the officials call an official timeout to get a player off the field with an equipment problem. That's number 68. That's Steve Allison. I don't know if he's holding his elbow, though. That's almost an injury case, but they've got 4th down and inches, and it looks like mass confusion out there in the Lake Orion huddle. They've got their punter on the field now, Derderian.
Big stop for Clarkston. He's got 141 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he needed 142. They could have kept the clock going. That was a huge miss right there for the Lake Orion offense.
And now Derderian coming on to punt once again. Scott Wasilk deep to receive it. Pressure applied by the Clarkston defense, and sends this one with a bad bounce for Lake Orion. Good for Clarkston, and it stays in Lake Orion territory.
Did someone get a piece of that?
Couldn't tell. Nick Zavatsky got in there, but I don't think he got a piece of it, but he punted away from him, and it turns into an 18-yard punt. And once again, Clarkston has an opportunity to mount a drive and take the lead.
I think Eric Lee might have been in there, too, coming in 45. He's 6'3". I think they brought in some height trying to find it. Let's see. And he just got it off. Yep, it's Lee right there trying to get up with that 6'3" body, and then he did a good job not to run the punter over. But I thought he got a piece of it. He just shanked the kick.
And now it's up to the Clarkston offense, and Brad Phelan is not able to pick up any yards on that play because the Lake Orion defense is there to stop him. Dan Geppert, big number 79, along with Dan Flanders, hold him for a loss of a yard. 2nd down and 11 coming up for the Wolves.
Yeah, Flanders is really all over the place tonight.
I guess from what the coaches say, that's been the story all year defensively. There's Clint Bryant. He may have to come back if Clarkston put some points on the board here. He's going to have to mount a last-second touchdown drive like he did against Adams early in the year.
He was hot to Sims earlier in the first half.
And now it's 2nd and 11 for the Wolves, and Fife's going to drop back, and he's looking downfield, and he overthrows his man. He had Wasilk down the field farther, but instead he went short for Jeff Bemis and wasn't able to get him. Good coverage by Jonah Doftard on that play.
Defensive front from Lake Orion. Look at the penetration right in here. Too many green jerseys getting by the interior line. Dane's got no time to throw that ball. There you go, high and wide.
They'll bring up a 3rd down and 11. And Dane Fife, 2 of his last 9, including that interception in the end zone. And he is
no
a sophomore.
Time to throw. No time to throw. Yep.
And you pressure a sophomore quarterback. That's the rule of thumb.
He took that shot and he fumbled that one too. I think he's thinking, I'll get rid of it before I fumble again.
Well, now he's got time and he's looking downfield and he's got a man and he's got the 1st down. That's Brad Conley, and he's finally brought down after a huge pickup by Rivera and Kyle Johnson.
Brad Conley. You'll see Fife take a deep drop. He's got some time this time. He takes a deep one, then he steps up inside, underneath the pressure, and fires a strike. And right here,
25-yard gain.
Here comes Conley, right on the numbers. Beautiful shot. Conley comes in. Hold on to that ball when you take that lick. They were looking for a fumble. Rivera trying to strip the ball. 1st down, Clarkston. The great Dane is driving again.
1st and 10, clock running, and they still need to get 6 points to take the lead, and they're not going to do it with that play. Jeff Long picking up maybe a yard.
Yeah, trying to pound it up the middle there. Long didn't find much this time at all. The defensive front of Lake Orion right there. They're on the ball. Lots of pressure inside, trying to pick up a number, but can't. He's in traffic.
And he might not have gotten anything on that play. It looks like a 2nd down and 10. See big number 58, Matt McGill.
I think in the last one it was Chris Machiski.
Well, and this time he finds Conley across the middle. Dane Fife does, and even with McCutcheon on him, he completes the pass, but it's not enough for the 1st down. It's going to be 3rd down and the long 2 to go.
Now, if they're forced to kick a field goal, they're kicking in the wind. Dane goes over the middle on the post and hits it right on the numbers. Nice pass and a good catch in traffic.
I'd be real surprised to see them try a field goal down here. 3rd down and 2, though, and they're slow getting this play into the huddle. Got a full backfield. Long with Chapman. They're going to give it to Long, and I don't know if he got it or not.
It's going to be close.
I think he's short. That looks short from here. In fact, I know it's short.
He's way short. At least like maybe 2 yards.
It's 4th and 1. You'd be looking at a 35-yard field goal from the far right hash mark, and you don't know how many more chances you're going to get this far into Lake Orion territory.
Wow, I thought he got a lot more. I thought he was closer to the 15 than that.
Well, it looks almost like he lost yardage according to the chains. It may be 4th down and 3. Dane Fife, under 50%, but over 100 yards. But this is the biggest play of the game so far. Now we've got a timeout on the field. Called by Clarkston, I believe.
It's got to be.
Nope, called by Lake Orion, the defense.
Wow, I don't know why you want to call a timeout there and help them.
Must have seen something they weren't ready for. Must have. You got to figure the coaches saw something that they knew they weren't going to be able to stop. It's the only thing I can think of. But boy, now you give Clarkston time to think about this and come up with a play to get 3 yards and a 1st down and keep this drive alive. And hey, Clarkston looking to get that drive and get into the playoffs and keep playing next week. And next week we're going to try and find you the best, most exciting playoff matchup we can and show it to you next Saturday and Monday night at 8 o'clock on Channel 63. The World Series will be over. You can get back to the high school football playoffs and watch us.
Well, if it's Clarkston getting into the playoffs, I think they're going to get Monroe. And Coach Richardson said last year they beat Monroe in the first game 39-14 at home, but that game was a 14-14 game, and Jason Graves broke it open at the end of the 3rd quarter. But they used a couple onside kicks in there, too. But I'll tell you, they're going to have to do it through this defense who's looking mighty good right now.
Both Clarkston and Monroe they were in one region last year. Now they're in another. The big difference is that you can see Chris Elliott at the game today. Anyway, they're
Good
both
call.
out of the region with Troy, so they don't face Troy till the semifinals if they can get that far.
Yeah, they'll be able to buy a couple games. And the way Troy has been unable to score points, I don't know if they're going to make it as far as they did last year. They need to put points on the board.
Although last year they couldn't score. They flat out had no offense and their defense did it. So you never know. It's going to be a Troy Catholic Central thing.
No time.
4th down, and Dane Fife is flushed out of the pocket and gets the pass off to Conley, and it's a 1st down. And,
wow, does he play beyond his years?
Dane
or
Fife
what?
doesn't shoot free throws with that much arc. Did you see how much arc he put on that thing?
That was just a sweet jump shot.
Check
Watch
this out.
Dane rolling. He's got no time, plenty of pressure. All green jerseys, really led by Steve Weaver, 54. He has help from McGill. The Dane just lays it up high. Conley's right there, gives his receiver time. 1st down, Clarkston, and they're looking threatening to score.
That's a best. That was a perfect release rotation splash.
Yep. Step into that
And
jump
now
shot.
Fife's looking to the end zone and overthrows his man. He had 2 guys in the same area. Probably miscommunication there. Bemis and I believe Wasilk. Yes, it was. I think he was looking for Wasilk, but one of them had to run the wrong
Hey,
route.
not only does the great Dane have touch, he can hum it when he needs to, and he laid a little heat on that pitch.
And now he's going to say, hey, Bemis, get out of the way.
I wonder if he's a baseball pitcher. I mean, watch this. Watch him fire this ball right down the middle in traffic, and it just couldn't happen. But, man, he put some zip on it.
Brings up a 2nd down and goal. The ball is right at the 10, so they can't get a 1st down without getting a touchdown. The 8th play of the drive coming up, and they're also taking time off the clock. If they can get this lead here, it's going to leave Lake Orion with not a lot of time. Goes to the end zone, just out of the hands of Wasilk, running that short fade, which a lot of teams like to do, make the defensive back over cover, and then you turn around and get him short.
Just kind of slow up a little bit and stop. The defensive back will get caught in the coverage. But last time he missed Wasilk. He went inside when Wasilk went outside. This time he keeps it on the outside, gives Wasilk time, but Wasilk just couldn't get enough over there and only got about one hand on it. Good attempt.
Yep. First guys I saw make that play work a lot. You know, the normal fade pattern's always been huge. When the Lions had Rodney Pete and Robert Clark, they used to do that play always. Just turn short, and it always worked if you got the pass there.
Rising did it a lot at Michigan State, too.
Now it's 3rd down, and Fife is getting blitzed, gets the pass away.
Got it away.
And looking for Jeff Long, but just amazing that he even got rid of the ball. Good coverage there by number 28, Kyle Johnson.
Yes, and he was lucky Johnson didn't pick that off, too. He almost floated it too far.
And once again, Dane Fife's going to have to convert a 4th down, but look at all these dragons coming up on him.
He just wants to dump it, but he gets a little bit too much on it.
And Machieski
Johnson almost came in there. You got to dive on that one. Dive, give it a shot.
And inside the 10 this quarter, Dane Fife is 0 for 6 with 1 interception.
They got to score here if they want to get into playoffs. They're not going to get the ball back.
And Chris Machieski's going to pressure him again. The juice, they call him. And Fife's going to the end zone. He's got a man, and he's got a touchdown to number 23. Once again on 4th down, Brad Conley is the man he goes to, and Clarkston is up 14-13.
Conley's been deadly, but I tell you, the great Dane, look at him lay that ball in there.
That's a great catch, too. This is Desmond Howard, like this 4th down in the corner.
He's looking. I'll just hang it up here with a little bit of touch and let Conley run under it. And Conley outruns the defenders and pulls it in. 6 points. Huge touchdown.
3rd catch for 39 yards this series for Conley. Don't forget 2 of them on 4th down when they absolutely had to have it.
Yep, you want to double cover Tim Wasilk. We're going over to find Brad Conley, and it's 6 points Clarkston.
Right.
Let's see what they do here.
Now we've got a timeout on the field because they're going to discuss this extra point at 14-13. A kick does you no good. You're going to go for 2 to get that field goal lead, and that's what they're talking about right now.
Coach Burrell is thinking, hey, you can hear him saying they're going for it. They're going for it.
And he's talking something about some sort of double shift. You can hear that.
He's telling the referee it was a double shift. They ran an illegal formation with the receivers. That's what he wanted. But they're going to go for 2. They're planning for Clarkston to attempt the 2. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of time on the clock for Mayhem to strike.
He'll probably roll Fife out this time because he's also got pretty good legs. If they can get him outside, he can sneak. He can run it in for 3 yards.
Don't count the great Dane out. I'll tell you, he always comes through. He's only a sophomore. I can't believe this guy.
And from what everyone says, though, he's such a good basketball player. You better watch him in high school for football because he's probably going to follow his 2 brothers into college basketball. But I don't know, Dane. I think football might be the way to go.
I know. I think might have more opportunity in football.
6'3" quarterbacks they can go wherever they want when they've got good arm and good field vision. Now he's going for the 2-point conversion. gets it, and of course, this time it's to a guy we haven't seen all night. We're thinking Wasilk, we're thinking Conley, and instead he goes to Justin Morgan, a senior, with a 2-point conversion.
Yep, he finds the 6'3", 200-pound tight end, the big kid. Here Morgan just dumps off the line, off the right side. Dane was going there the whole time, and exactly.
Hasn't looked at a tight end all night.
Exactly.
Finally does it on second down.
They knew he'd be open. Good call in the timeout from Coach Richardson. Let's run Wasilk, and let's run Conley off to the left side. We'll dump our tight end off the right. Dane, just dump it over there. Easy 2 points. No one's covering him.
There's Bob Carlton, special teams coach, probably got a good return play on. Also the running back coach at Lake Orion, so you know he's got Mahan a little fired up.
Oh yeah, plenty of time for Mahan to strike, and look, I would not kick it to him here on this. Don't give him the opportunity.
And you know, if you saw us do Lake Orion against Rochester Adams, you know that the Lake Orion Dragons have experience at last minute come from behind victories.
Ideally, if you're Clarkston there, you'd want to take some more time off the clock, but it just didn't happen, and your defense has to stand up big and get you into the state playoffs.
5:56 left, and Ryan Chapman's going to kick it off, and Mahan's deep, and he might get a shot at returning this if they can lateral it to him. They're not. Instead, it's going to be number 26, I believe.
Hold on to that ball.
Zach Anderson, an 11th grader, a junior, 5'10", 165, holds onto the ball, gets it out past the 30, so good field position for the start of this drive. You see that last drive, 9 plays, 47 yards, a couple of huge fourth down conversions, including the 9-yard touchdown pass to Conley. Of course, the other conversion was also to Conley.
Yep, Dane comes over, converts to Conley twice, but the one on that fourth down, when he was in traffic, about to get tackled, and he just put that little touch pass out there for about 5-7 yards. Bingo, first down.
And Brad Conley looking like he's ready to take over for Tim Wasilk next year. Now the option, pitch out to Mahan, and the Clarkston defense looks as fired up as their offense was.
Yeah, I think we've got a couple players keying on Mahan. Now I think Jamie Mutter, 56, his responsibilities Mahan. You'll see here they roll down the side. Bryant, he'll pitch it off. Here's Mahan on a pitch, and here comes Mutter in on there along with Ryan Schlaff. Schlaff has been all over the field tonight for them.
Maybe a gain of a yard on that play. Second down, we'll call it 9.
They're keying on
I
Mahan.
guess we'll call it 10. 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Bryant play action, rolls out, looking downfield for a man, overthrows one guy, looking for Doffert, I believe, and then short hopped by Kerry Sims, and I don't know who he was looking to.
Right, he should have went to the first guy, the short guy. He tried to go past him a little bit deeper. He got greedy with that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure which guy he went for. He either just overthrew the short guy or underthrew the long guy.
I thought he was going for the long guy right here. Tried to put a little bit on it. No, you're right. He overthrew the short guy.
Or underthrew the long guy. It is so, you really can't tell from that angle.
We're going to have to ask him.
Ask him.
Where's that quarterback helmet? Wait, I want to talk to you.
Third down. They're going to send Sims in motion, leaving Mahan in the backfield by himself to block. And Sims is open across the middle. He overthrows it, picked off by Ryan Chapman, and he's got some room to return the ball. Still on his feet. He may go all the way. Finally slips, though, at the 25-yard line, trying to make a cutback. Had an offensive lineman there ready to tackle him. That was number 70, Shane Tucker. But Ryan Chapman with a huge interception. Here again, 25-yard return.
Yep, a receiver making, the play defensive backwise. Bryant has to go up top. He goes over everybody. Little too high there, overshoots Chapman in there, and he's a receiver on the offensive end and a halfback. Here he is making the defensive stop. Good blocking here from Tim Whistler, 21. Right here, frees him up a little bit more, and he tries to buy some time, but then he ran into number 70, Shane Tucker, and fell over.
Kurt Richardson. And behind him, Ryan Chapman, who just made a huge play for the Clarkston Wolves. And now they're going to take some time off the clock, running it up the middle with Brad Phelan, picking up maybe a yard, bring up second down and 9. But most importantly for the Wolves, the clock is rolling at 4:08.
And 55, Dan Flanders really put a shot right there on that tackle. He got in right on the knee and brought that ball carrier down.
And you can see the Lake Orion bench screaming out to that defense to come up with a big stop here. If you can, even if you hold them to a field goal, you're in this game. Only down by 3 right now. It's up to the defense, and Flanders once again held for maybe a yard or 2, but it's 3rd and long for Clarkston.
Yep, Flanders is very aggressive, getting active inside. He had help on that one from number 58.
And Dennis Mahan playing his last high school game. And if baseball works out, the way we figured. Probably his last football game, except potentially the Michigan High School All-Star game next summer, because I'm sure he'll be invited.
Yeah, unfortunately, on that series, Mahan hardly touched the ball. You got to get it to your big people.
Well, 3rd down and 8 for the Clarkston Wolves. Wasilk split out to the right side. Huge play for Dane Fife here. I wouldn't be surprised if they run it. They're going to get an illegal procedure. Excuse me, easy for me to say. Illegal procedure call from the left side of their offensive line.
Yeah, Matt Sutherland jumped up a little bit, though. Dane was trying to bark that defense off sides and ended up bringing his own offensive guys off sides.
I'll tell you what's funny is it actually helps Clarkston because they're going to reset the ball and run the clock again. They're going to take off another 30 seconds. He probably took off 20 seconds waiting for that play to start. They're going to run a minute off the clock without ever running a play. 3rd down and 13.
I think Dane's looking to strike in the end zone right here.
Well, he's got Wasilk downfield. Instead, he takes off and runs, and he's got the 1st down and a little bit more, and he's trying to find a way
what
to
a move! The great Dane!
He gets into the end zone, and Clarkston's going to the playoffs.
What a move! Moves in the open field, and there's his father up there, the basketball coach, Dan Fife. Oh, what a move for Dane Fife. Can he move in the open field?
Wow.
What feet?
Telling you, Dane, keep playing football. Give up that basketball stuff. Football's the way to go, man.
Little fake. He dumps up out of here. Comes out of pressure. Gets out of the pocket. Now he says, I got room. He breaks it over left. He's got the 1st down. Put the ball on the other side. No fumble. Little hesitation. See ya. That's a little basketball move.
Oh.
Look at those feet.
Man.
Look at those feet. Dancing feet. He's got the quick feet. That's all you need. Dane Fife is just an athlete.
A little high step there. Now they're going to go for the 1-point conversion. This time, number 14, Kevin Mason, a sophomore brought up to the varsity only a couple of weeks ago, converts the extra point. First time they've gone for 1 all night. Gets them a 23-13 lead. And with only 2 minutes and 46 seconds left,
and
barring a disaster, they're in the playoffs.
And hello, Monroe. We'll see you in the first game of the playoffs. And I'll tell you, if Monroe's going to do it, they got to stop that man right there, number 12, Dane Fife. Clarkston faithful is just fired up, doing it on Lake Orion's field.
Now, what's his dad thinking here? Because basketball practice starts during the football playoffs, and you want your main guy at practice when it starts, but he can't practice basketball till football ends, and now the season's extended.
You know, I did. I talked to his father at halftime, and Dan Fife said, hey, look, you know, we play basketball all the time. The kids know what they got to do. Most of my basketball teams on this football team, one sport first. I'm just hoping, as always, no injuries.
Well, then Dan Fife can take an extra week of vacation because he's not going to have basketball practice for a while. That drive, 3 plays, 25 yards, 28 of it by Fife because they lost some yards on the run. But don't forget, Ryan Chapman, who's kicking off right here, set it up with that interception. And now he kicks off short to D'Onofrio, and he gets the ball out to about the 41, maybe the 42-yard line, and Lake Orion is 60 yards away from the end zone and 10 points down. 2 minutes and 42 seconds left in the game.
You got to see what Clint Bryant, the quarterback, can do. It's in his last home game, and he's got to take it to the air now. I just wonder if you don't want to get it to Sims, 21, or roll Mahan out and get him the ball on the flat like a screen pass. Hit him coming out of the backfield. Get the ball in his hands away from that line of scrimmage.
Well, they're almost in a prevent defense. You could probably run a draw with Mahan right now and get 10. But as it is, Bryant takes a shot as he releases downfield. And they're looking for Rick Green, and Ryan Chapman's on the coverage, and 2 flags are down. There was definitely contact. And as we were talking about earlier, in high school football, it doesn't have to be a catchable ball. If the ref says you ran into him, you ran into him, and it's pass interference.
You don't want a penalty there, though.
No.
It kills the clock, moves the ball up the field. Just avoid it. Let them have the catch.
And it is defensive pass interference. 15 yards and a 1st down for Lake Orion. And the clock stops. And take a look at the shot he takes.
Bryant airs it up nice, trying to let his receiver run under it. Here comes Chapman, making a little body contact right there.
That's a good call. According to the high school rule, it's a good call.
You know, the thing about that is I don't mind when the official is in position to make the call, and they have been all night.
Well, 1st and 10 for Lake Orion. Now they're in Clarkston territory. At the 45-yard line, Bryant drops back. He's looking deep for Rick Green. Got him turned around, and Chapman's closer than anyone else to the ball, but he's not able to make the play. 2nd down and 10 for the Dragons.
No, and Rick Green thought he saw something on the last play and tried to run into Chapman and create some contact.
Well, they're in that deep prevent. If you wanted to run a draw to Mahan right now, he'd easily get 10 yards.
And then swing it out of bounds.
As it is, though, with just over 2 minutes, 2 and 15 to be exact, left in this game. 10 points down, you're probably not going to win this game.
That's why we're up here, though, Joe. It's so much easier from up here, isn't it?
Absolutely.
We're undefeated.
Lifetime. And always will be. Bryant's going to roll out to the near side. He's looking downfield for Green. Now he decides to keep it, and he's going to be able to get out of bounds, but not pick up the first down. Closing in to make the tackle, number 5, Jay Richardson.
Well, Bryant did the right thing. He got out of bounds. He'll wheel out here over the left side. He's looking downfield, looking. No one's open. Lots of coverage. I think I'm going to tuck it in and get out of bounds. So he tucks it in and gets out of bounds. It's a senior play. That's smart. Kill the clock, pick up some yards, and get out of bounds.
When you see Jay Richardson there, it's not actually making a tackle, but you can credit him with one because he forces him out of bounds. That's the point where he had to stop making forward progress and stop the clock. And it's 3rd down and about 1. And they are going to give it to Mahan this time, and he does get the first down, which will stop the clock for a moment while they move the chains. Good tackle made by Ryan Kulka. 1st and 10 for Lake Orion at about the 32-yard line, but it's too little too late. 2 minutes and 4 seconds left in the game.
Mahan up the middle, enough for the first down. Kulka rams him down. Hold on to that ball. It's loose in his hands a lot.
Well, now they're looking for a
Interference.
quick slant play, looking to throw to number 49, Matt Yankee, and yeah, he did. There was some contact, but there's no flag on the play this time. As it is, the clock stops at 2nd down and 10. And once again, Richardson on the coverage.
Yeah, Richardson, I thought, made a little contact on the back, but the officials didn't see it that way, and he got away with it, and good coverage.
Clint Bryant, there's Matt Yankee, the intended receiver. He's on the sidelines for this play. Clint Bryant brings the play into the huddle.
I think he lost his wind. He got wind, he kind of fell on his hand there.
Been a busy guy tonight, too.
Yeah.
He's been laying blocks, catching passes, doing a little bit of everything tonight. Minute 57 left in this game. And Clint Bryant's going to look downfield, and he throws it behind Jonah Doftert, and it's 3rd down and 10 for the Dragons.
Yep, Doftert just frustrated there, and no chance of getting that ball. The ball was just thrown. Bryant knows it.
Well, I think it's got to be a little hard to try to mount a drive when, it might pad the stats. It might make it look like a closer game than it really is, but it's not going to help you.
Tall lefty, wheel out to the left side, trying to find it, and he just throws it behind him. Just a bad pass. Errant pass. What are you going to do?
3rd down and 10 for the Dragons. Bryant barks the signals out. He drops straight back, and there's a blitz coming on, and he throws it away. Huge blitz from number 62, Mike Underwood, a sophomore. 6 foot, 190-pound nose tackle came right in there, and ref, if he wanted, could have called intentional grounding. The only guys near this were offensive linemen.
Right when Bryant looks back, what's he see? Underwood right here. And he's just got to dump it off. He hangs it up in the air. There's really nobody there. He's just ditching it toward a green jersey.
That Clarkston defense been doing it all night, coming in there and blitzing him hard, making him hurry his throws. And 4th down and 10 right here. The Lake Orion season for the offense comes down to this play. And Bryant's got plenty of time. He's looking downfield, and he underthrows the intended receiver, Rick Green, and that'll about do it. Clarkston gets the ball back, 1st down and 10 with 1:41 left, and all they have to do is sit on it and let the clock run out, and they're going to the playoffs.
Big defensive stand for the Wolves right here. Bryant drops back, a lot of pressure. Nobody's open. He's looking, but all my receivers are 2 and triple covered right now. And I'll just try to throw it in there and see what happens, but it's short, and he's just avoiding the interception. Look at the double coverage. Receiver covered on both ways, deep and low.
Tremendous effort for Clarkston, especially coming off a disappointing loss last week on the last play of the game. A field goal against Seaholm, which is another playoff team. Come back knowing you need to win this against a great team in their house.
To lose 19 of your 22 starters and bounce back and get back to the state playoffs, that's good coaching.
There you go, and Brad Phelan runs it up the middle, and of course Flanders makes the tackle, and Lake Orion not giving up, calls timeout, and Dennis Mahan, the last game of his high school career. And again, we're not sure if we'll see him playing football anymore other than in all-star games because he's such a good baseball player, a shortstop and a pitcher, and a Big Ten recruit.
Yes, major D1 recruit in baseball as a shortstop. That might have been a face mask, so he got away with it. But it's tough in home field. He played well tonight. He scored a couple of touchdowns. He's a great ball carrier. But I think, it's baseball time.
Yeah, and hey, if Halloween's coming around the corner, and in fact, if you're watching this game on Monday, it's tonight, Devil's Night, and just to keep everybody inside, TCI is going to give you all these channels for free tonight from 3:30 till 11:30. Stay home, stay out of trouble, and pick a channel and watch it. Or if you got picture-in-picture, pick 2 channels and watch both of them. After our game's over, of course.
Which one you watching, Joe?
Well, I already got HBO and Showtime, so I think I'll go with Pass. Nah, I don't like Pass. I'm watching Disney.
No Pass. You
No
don't like
Pass.
Pass,
No, I
huh?
don't like Pass.
All right, I'll relay that to the
Because
WPI.
they don't have as good a sports as we have.
That's
so
right.
Why should I watch it?
They don't have PC International, Pat Collar, baby.
That's right.
Hey, I got to do an inadvertent plug here. For Tommy, the White Power Ranger, he'll be at the Kmart on Jocelyn Road, south of I-75, next Thursday.
I want
from
half
6
the
to
money
7.
he paid you, by the way. And Fife's going to run the clock out himself, rolling out of bounds. He's just going to fall down, taking time off the clock. And Lake Orion, if they're going to try to get the ball back, is going to have to use another timeout right now. I'm not sure if they're going to. But 1:18 and the clock running, and 3rd down and long for the Clarkston Wolves.
Your winter sports schedule.
See, that's kind of stuff that Tommy the White Ranger is going to be showing you. Look at her go. She's not giving up. Come on, Dragons. Let's get fired up.
I'll be impressed with Tommy when he's on Roadshow Video.
No, he's going to autograph. He's going to do self-defense tips. He's going to lots of prizes. He's going to give away videos. I'm dreaming of a White Power Ranger. I'm serious. And if you have any questions, call my man, Scott Brown at J. Walter Thompson Advertising. Total plug, Scott. You owe me.
That courtesy of Jack Roberts, folks.
It's out here, though. It's Kmart.
Well, it's 4th down now as Clarkston just trying to run the clock out with Phelan taking up the middle, and of course Flanders and McGill and everybody else making the tackle. Clarkston is going to, or Lake Orion will stop the clock here with a timeout to make Clarkston punt it. Probably, I would guess, to give Dennis Mahan one last carry.
Right. And let the crowd go wild. But right here, don't let them gang up on your offensive players like that. You don't need the injuries before the state tournament. I mean, the Dragons defense, I'll give them credit, they're not getting dirty, but this is a time when you're seniors, you get frustrated. That's when crazy things happen, when there's, nothing to lose. You get beat on your home field, and maybe you do something that you would never think of doing. You're just frustrated.
Yeah, and right now, after what may have been Lake Orion's 4th timeout, we're not sure, but it doesn't really matter. They're going to get a chance to return a Clarkston punt one last time with 41 seconds left in the game. And Rich Burrell, had to be a disappointing season for these guys, finishing 4-5 when you'd have thought coming in that they were going to take another trip to the playoffs, maybe even win the Division II like they did last year. And it's been a couple of heartbreaking losses, really, that have gotten them. Last week to Rochester, earlier in the season to Seaholm. Dennis Mahan not able to get over 2,000 yards, but 6 more yards and he can get over 1,900.
Right, and when you got a stud like Dennis Mahan coming in, you see tonight he's got 2 touchdowns. Sometimes he scores more. But I'll tell you, when you got a guy like that, expectations do get a little high. And I think one of those early season close losses might have took some heart out of the team.
Well, I'll tell you, and the coaches didn't figure he was going to get the 2,000 tonight just because it's so hard to do something like that. And there he falls down on the ball. And Lake Orion's going to get the ball back, 1st down. There's a little bit of a scuffle going on back where the punt took place between a Clarkston player and a couple Lake Orion players, but that doesn't last too long.
That's Flounders giving it to Teague. I'll tell you that Coach Richardson doesn't want to lose a punter like Teague going to the state tournament. I think he was on Joe Roy, one of the linemen, actually, but... Oh, I thought it was Teague.
No, but that's just a little frustration. Nothing real bad was going on. So now the clock's running, 28 seconds. And no, they're not going to give it to Mahan. They're going to keep throwing the ball. And Bryant's going across the middle for Kerry Sims, and the officials rule it incomplete. He trapped the ball. So the clock stops with 22.3 seconds to go. 2nd down and 10 for the Dragons.
They're consoling with Mahan. I'm telling you, I'm with you, Joe. Give it to Mahan.
Give him the ball.
Last year he had over 1,400 yards. This year he's got all this yardage for you, close to 2,000. Give him the ball. Show him a little respect.
Give him a carry. But, he might not want it either. Because if you're doing everything he's done and it doesn't really matter, there's no point. And now Clint Bryant drops back. He's looking downfield, and he's flushed out again by the pass rush of the Clarkston Wolves, and finally sacked by 35. Chris Evans, he's been in on a couple of huge plays today. Remember that fumble recovery earlier in the 2nd half, and that's going to end the game. And Lake Orion finishes 4-5, and the Clarkston Wolves, most importantly, are jumping for joy because their season is not over. They're going to the playoffs. And the Clarkston Wolves in the last 2 years have lost 4 games.
Yep.
3 of them to Troy. So anybody else better watch out.
Yep, Coach Richardson really has a phenomenal program going. A lot of sophomores on this team. They had some great output tonight from Wasilk, Chapman. Of course, the great Dane Fife was out of his mind. I thought Joe DeGain played well, but I really thought on the defensive end, Jamie Mutter stood out along with Schlaff. Ryan Schlaff and Mike Underwood were just really hustling on that defensive end, and this is going to be a tough team to beat. I expect them to win one, if not at least 2 playoff games.
There's Tim Wasilk, one of the heroes of tonight's game. He and Dane Fife, the big pass-catch combination of Oakland County, and they're taking their act to the playoffs. And we'll be right back with some final stats and maybe a few surprises on the TCI Game of the Week.
Press Perspective with Neil Monroe is an informative talk show that discusses issues often overlooked by broadcast stations. Neil Monroe, the editor of the Oakland Press newspaper, will keep you abreast on hot topics, events, and issues taking place in Oakland County. So for news you can use, join Neil Monroe every week on the Oakland Press Perspective, Friday night at 8:30 on TCI 63. If you wish a video cassette of TCI Sports, the cost is $25. Send a check payable to TCI, along with your name, address, and the names of the teams that played in the game, to TCI Sports Videotapes, 4500 Delamere Boulevard, Royal Oak, Michigan, 48073. Remember to tell us which game you wish to receive. And thank you for watching TCI Sports.
Back here at Lake Orion, where the Clarkston Wolves have knocked off the Lake Orion Dragons 23-13, and Clarkston's going to the playoffs because of it. And right now on the field with a couple of their heroes is the ever-fashionable Jack Roberts.
Thanks, Joe. Down on field side here, I've got Tim Wasilk and Dane Fife with me. Tim, big ball game for your club tonight. Looks like you're headed to the state tournament for the second year in a row. Tonight you had 4 catches. The first one with the touchdown. Tell us about the game tonight. I mean, it seemed like in the first half you were real hot, but in the second half it looked like they had double coverage on you.
Yeah, we've been practicing that in practice. We had double team me and stuff in practice to get me used to it, the game because we knew they were gonna double team me and stuff like that. But referring to my touchdown catch, Dane, he's been throwing great passes to me all year, and that was just a flag route, 10 yards in the end zone. He's been hooking me up like that all year.
Now, you hooked up in the first half on the one, but then in the second half you ran, it looked like you started to run a down and out, then you down and in, and then you took it out, but the throw went in. What happened on that play?
That was just miscommunication. We usually get that down, but we just messed up on that play. It was just a miscommunication.
And do you guys work on all kinds of pass patterns in practice?
Yeah, we do that. We do that constantly in practice. We work on it every day.
Well, great game, and good luck to you in the playoffs.
Thanks a lot.
Let's move over now and get a talk with Dane Fife, the sophomore quarterback. Dane, you showed a lot of poise in the clutch. I thought that I thought you faced a lot of defensive pressure tonight, and it looked like the defense was changing up on you.
They were tough. They switched defenses on us a lot. You know, they moved us around on our passing game. They moved around with their safeties, and it kind of got confusing at times. But we showed our character and did it up.
Now, you threw for one in the first half, and then the second half you were rolling out. You got in a little bit of trouble and decided, hey, I'm going to keep it, show my quick feet, and take it in.
Well, that was a basketball move. And the coach is always getting on me. He always refers to stuff as basketball moves, and that's a move Tim taught me in basketball. That was my stutter step.
Is that the little stutter, the hesitation, shake and bake?
Yep.
All right, Dane Fife, good luck in the state tournament. Dane, you play Monroe again. What's your thoughts on that game going in?
Well, I hear they're big. We can beat them, though. I mean, we play like we're supposed to, and we'll beat them. It'll be a good game.
All right, Dane Fife, sophomore quarterback, and Tim Wasilk, the senior receiver, the deadly combination for Clarkston. They head to the playoffs next week, probably Monroe. Back up to you, Joe.
All right, Jack, thanks a lot. Look for Jack on the cover of GQ next month, by the way. We'll be right back with the final stats on the TCI Game of the Week.
Vince, that new dummy cam is great.
Yeah, it'll sure give people a whole new outlook on what it's like when you don't wear a safety belt.
I think they'll get the picture.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Back here at Lake Orion, Joe Abramson along with Jack Roberts and the Clarkston Wolves on their way to the playoffs after a 23-13 win over the Dragons. And Dennis Mahan didn't get his 2,000 yards, but still over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns on the final game of his high school career.
Yeah, and it's too bad he had to go out on a loss, though. So look at the passing. Really, Dane Fife and Wasilk, they dominated, 118 yards, a big catch to Conley there at the end. And then rushing it was all Mahan and Lake Orion, almost doubled them up. And with total yards, look at this, 233 for Lake Orion, total yards, but they just don't get it done. And they have 2 big turnovers and didn't put enough points on the board.
And Clarkston able to dominate, well, not dominate, but able to win the time of possession battle anyway, which was something Kurt Richardson wanted to do. Keep the ball out of Lake Orion's and out of Dennis Mahan's hands.
Right. Can't beat you if he doesn't have the ball.
That's right. So there's Lake Orion. Dennis Mahan once again finishes up right around 1,900. Great season, 22 touchdowns, one of the top running backs, if not the top running back in Oakland County. And Clarkston, their season's not over, and Dane Fife, a sophomore, got a heck of a career ahead of him.
And the great Dane, I know, they look deadly. I think they might get Monroe based on team speed alone. Monroe's big, but they're somewhat slow. It'll be a question if they can get past its second or third game. I don't know if they're that deep.
Right. Well, second game you don't know who they play. Third game you're looking at a Troy or a Catholic Central, and
right.
then you got to pull the upset off. Mm-hmm. But hey, playoffs are on their way, and we're going to hopefully show you some of those next week. We're going to pick the best playoff game we can next week and bring it to you, and we'll keep that guy as far away from the game as possible.
Well, happy Halloween.
Absolutely, and once again, we'll probably be hopefully looking at either Royal Oak, Kimball, Troy, maybe Clarkston next week in the playoffs. Next Saturday and Monday at 8 p.m. For Jack Roberts and Pat Collar and everybody else at TCI and at PC Edit International, for that matter. I'm Joe Abramson reminding you that the final score is Clarkston Wolves 23, the Lake Orion Dragons 13. We'll see you next week on the TCI Game of the Week.